What's up? What's up? How we doing? What's up, Mets fans? How we doing? How's everybody doing tonight? What is up, guys? What is up? Obviously, make sure to let me know that you guys can hear me first and foremost. Got to make sure of that. But how's everybody doing? What is up, guys? What's up? Mets fans, big night, big night, big night. A lot to talk about in such a little time, but we're going to go roughly, probably around 3 hours tonight, give or take, and then I'm going to be like a madman up until 3 or 4 in the morning working on more content. But what is up, guys? What is up? How's everybody doing? We already got 70 lovely Mets fans here. How we doing? How we doing? Yo, what is up, guys? What's up, Luke? What's up, Edward? What's up, Diego? What's up, Adam? What's up, guys? And by the way, I know that there were a couple people that have reached out about being a monitor. I'm going to do a handful. At tops, I'll do like 4 or 5. So, guys, refresh my memory. If any of you are here and you guys want to be a moderator, please let me know. And then I'll make you a moderator starting tonight's stream. But again, only 4 or 5. But what is up, guys? Yo, what is up? Blaine, what is up, by AJ? What's up? What's up? What's up, Edward? How's everybody doing? Guys, you know the deal by now. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button if you're new. But you guys all look like you're probably my regular subscribers. So thank you all so much for being here. Is it a full season this year? I hope so, Billy. I really hope so. Oh my god, you and this spam. Here we go again. This guy, he has like 8 accounts prepped, guys. Get ready. We're going to see a spam fest tonight because, you know, this guy, I clearly live rent-free in his head. You want the black jersey? I want black jerseys too. They'll come, don't worry. They'll come. Sure you can, Owen. There you go, Owen. First one down. I started to spam for a mod now? No. Like I said, it's only going to be 4 or 5. And I know that people have reached out to me before. I'm just blanking on some people's names. So I know there's a couple once I see them. All right, Luke. Luke gets the mod. I already blocked. I already hit him. Richie, you don't even have a wife yet. Don't even go there. You gotta let Kelly at least get there first. All right. What's up, Brent? What is up? What is up, guys? And again, guys, just so you know, we're going to be talking about a lot tonight. It's pretty obvious, but we have a lot to talk about. What's up, Michael? Thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I appreciate that. And as always, guys, if you're new, help us get a 50 likes, guys. Let's get this thing rolling. It really helps with the algorithm. If I'm going to be running 3 hours, we got to try to get those likes up. Yes, I know, Adam. I remember. As soon as I saw your name, I recognize you. Blaine, or you'll get it. And I know that my guy Brendan, he's not in here, but he deserves a mod. And then outside of that, I'll leave one more up. I'm not going to add any more mods right now. It doesn't mean that he can't be, but just leaving at that right now. So I'll go back. Halfway through tonight's stream, at like the 1.5 hour mark, I will add another mod or 2. All right, let's read some more comments. So thank you all so much for being here, though, guys. We got a lot to talk about, again, regarding what's happening with free agency and the trade market between Bauer, what happened earlier. If you guys didn't see my video, make sure to check that out as well. I uploaded that just an hour ago. But a lot of great stuff is going to be happening for the Mets, it would seem. And I know there's still uncertainty, but it's not a big deal, trust me. Okay, just bear with me 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. All right, let's get to it. If we bring on Bauer, do we have room to extend Conforto Lindor? Well, that's the thing, John. I would assume that we would, but at the same time, you know, that's literally something that only time will tell. I simply don't know. If the Mets feel comfortable going past that threshold, then yes. Do I think money's really much of a worry for them? No, but they also have to be smart. They still are on some type of budget at the end of the day. I just don't know what that actual dollar amount is. Sima, my problem with the Mets is this. They haven't signed one top free agent at their position. Not even a bullpen guy. May was not a #1 bullpen arm. Well, Sima, you got to realize that the free agent market, there's only been really one big name that has fallen, and that was just George Springer, and the Mets just missed out on him. So there's still big names out there, as we know. So I personally, I would not be worried about that. There are big names that still have yet to, and that Lindor trade made this Mets offseason as it is. If the Mets don't sign any big names, they have their reasonings for it at the end of the day. Do I think that they will? Yes, I do feel that they still will land a big name. but it doesn't matter to me if it's through free agency or the trade market. They already did it with Lindor, and I expect them to do it some more this offseason. Oh, don't say my fault, Jonathan. Thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate that. And again, thank you all so much for being here. It really means a lot. All right, guys, more comments to read. More comments to read. Oh, thank you so much, John. Thank you for the appreciation on the content. I appreciate that, buddy. And Owen, what's a moderator? You can just help out basically if someone starts spamming the chat. You can have control in the chat as well to try to block that person right away. You know, making sure that no funny business happens. And Raymond, you can possibly be a mod. Don't worry. Just not right now. Not right now. What is up, guys? What is up? Castillo coming? I don't think so, Nerman. I don't think right now. I don't think so. Especially if they're going after Sonny Gray. I don't see how they're going after Castillo. Ivan, what is up, guys? I would be completely shocked if we sign Bauer. I know he's a priority to Sandy, but it doesn't make any sense to me right now. Chris, I understand that. I don't think it's going to make sense to people until we actually find out what Bauer signs for, and, you know, if the Mets land him, you know, is it going to be short or long term? We're all kind of up in the air in regards to our personal impression on how to take things until we actually get some more clarity. And I've been saying that all offseason, but it holds true. You know, like, we're only going to know so much until we actually find out some stuff. I want nothing to do with Gray. Oh, Edward, I'm not putting much stock into his performance in the Bronx. I don't think you should either. Numerous factors went into that. I don't know if you saw from my video, but again, I understand that's a fair reason to have some concerns, but I still wouldn't put too much in it. Did you talk about how much you think Bauer would get? Specifically, in my latest video, I didn't say a number because it all depends on the term. We don't know if hypothetically, right, if the Mets land Bauer, is it going to be short-term or long-term? That's going to have a huge factor in his AAV. If it's 5 years, yeah, you're looking over $100 million. Brian and Kyle Hendricks and JBJ, I don't want Kyle Hendricks. Brian, I'm down. JBJ is a lefty in the outfield. That's the worry. Sandy Alderson has made it clear that he doesn't want lefties. He wants a righty in the outfield. So I will probably talk about JBJ more in a separate video outside of tonight's stream, but I still find it fairly hard to believe that, you know, that's going to happen just right now, at least from what Alderson said. But what is up, guys? As always, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button to help us get 100 likes. Let's get this thing rolling, guys. We're in for a fun one tonight. I'm probably going I'm probably going to midnight at least in tonight's stream. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I am. So I want to get a lot of thoughts out on top of answering all you guys. We need Brad Hand. I would really like Brad Hand. I really hope he comes. I really do. Really do. And we're going to talk, guys, again, to give you a roundup on the list that we're going to be talking about tonight. It is, guys, Nolan Arenado. It's Brad Hand. It's Trevor Bauer further outside of the video I just did. It's going to be other guys like Jackie Bradley Jr., Albert Almora Jr. That has been more reports on him earlier today. Kike Hernandez, Luis Castillo, and Eugenio Suarez some more. Sonny Gray. Did I say Luis Castillo, Ray? Some more Luis Castillo as well. I'm trying to think of some more that I'm going to want to touch on in tonight's stream specifically. Maybe Justin Turner a little bit in there. Some more outfield options. Laureano from the A's is another guy I want to talk about a little bit too, among some others. And, you know, anyone else that you guys are curious about. Don't think we should be worrying about Conforto. His agent is Scott Boras, and you know he's going to wait until he's a free agent. At that point, anything can happen. I mean, I'm not worried about Conforto. I'm really not. I love Conforto's my favorite Met. I don't want to see the Mets lose Conforto, but my point is that I think that Conforto is going to stay a Met. I don't think he's going anywhere. So I'm not really overly concerned about the Conforto situation right now. And again, I'm going to try to answer you guys as much as I can. So if I'm pretty delayed on my responses, I apologize. Just know that I am trying to take the time to answer you. Tyler, if someone is spamming, would you like us to ban someone or just time out? I would say ban, honestly, because odds are if someone is just spamming, it is specifically because they are just trying to be a troll. Unless they spam because they're trying to get attention about a certain question. Then I can deal with that. What about a trade for Laureano? Exactly, Anthony. We're going to dive a little bit further in that in tonight's video because many people have asked me about Laureano, my thoughts on him, and I will gladly get to it. And no, Philip, you're the best. And guys, smash that like and subscribe button. As always, if you're new to the channel, if you like consistent Mets content, I'm your guy, and I'm not exaggerating that. I'm really not. I love doing this Mets content so much, and nothing's stopping me. Do I watch the Knicks? A little bit. I'm a Knicks fan, but I don't follow basketball nearly as much as I do other sports. What is Han waiting for? Well, Han has a lot of options, clearly. And if the Mets aren't giving him the term that he's looking for right now, that could be a bigger concern as well. So multiple reasons are going into the Han being a stalemate right now. But I would imagine that one of them is because of the fact that numerous teams are showing interest. Trade for Amir Garrett if we don't get Han. Amir Garrett's solid. Amir Garrett, he's interesting. I remember him. He's gotten a couple fights in his MLB career, which is funny. Is it just me? But I want Familia and Matt's gone. It's not just you. I literally did an entire video on that, Sanchez. Not even joking. A couple days ago, I did a video on how they should be the next man's out for the Mets. Okay, let's see. More comments, more time to answer. I'm a Jays fan. Do you think there's any chance at all the Jays can snag Bauer? I would say so, Ryan. Look, the Jays got Springer, all right? The Jays are making statements here. Do I think they're going to get Bauer? No. But did I think the Jays were going to get Springer either? No, I honestly didn't. So they've surprised me this offseason. They got that one big name. Are they able to land more? I never thought that Bauer was ever giving heavy consideration into Toronto. But at the end of the day, anything's possible. But if I had to, like bet the farm on it, no. Bet the house, I don't think he's going to Toronto personally. Actually, Colin Wong's great defensively. Maybe he can play second and McNeil play third. What do you think? Colin Wong's really solid defensively. I think he's another solid depth option, but he wouldn't be my first choice per se. I would want Kike Hernandez over Colin Wong. Mike Trout is a perfect trade. Stop it. Don't think we should... Okay, I'm really far behind. Give me 1 second, guys. Is Nimmo considered untouchable now? No, not at all, Brennan. And you were getting yourself a mod because I was waiting for you to get in here because I know you asked for a mod before. So there you go, my buddy. Yeah, no, I don't think Nimmo is untouchable. I don't see why he would be untouchable. If Nimmo's traded, it's because you're trying to impact the team better. I love Nimmo. I don't want to see him gone, but it won't surprise me whatsoever to see him dealt. He's just as much a trade chip yesterday as he is today. I think we're fine, and we just need to leave the team as is unless we want Sonny Gray or Castillo. That's fair, Philip. That's fair. I mean, when you're talking about World Series aspirations, the Mets are not in position yet. They're not far off, but they're not in position yet, personally, if you're asking me. Ketel Marte. Marte's a solid option, but he will not come cheap. And Marte, he's a really great player. He would not be my first choice, however. Here we go. I'm going to go through all your videos in a second. I'm going to hit subscribe on. Oh, thank you so much, Philip. I appreciate that. Very kind of you, buddy. What are my thoughts on Almora? Well, I did do a video on Almora, so make sure to check it out, guys. But latest stuff on Albert Almora Jr., according to Andy Martino, the puppet for SNY himself. He did state, however, to keep an eye on Almora Jr. because it seems like the Mets are still... When they showed interest in him originally, it was more serious than maybe what the eye originally was telling you. So Almora, I do like. I think is a really solid depth option. He reminds me a lot of like a player, for instance, where if he went to the Yankees, he would thrive, especially with injuries, for instance. I think Almora is a guy that has a lot of potential with his career still, and some unfortunate circumstances that have happened with him outside of his injuries, from him hitting a line drive foul ball at a little girl who unfortunately has permanent brain damage because of it. It seemed his numbers have drastically declined since then, and it seems that there could very well be a connection there. As unfortunate as it is, it's a terrible thing. But hoping that he can, try to not put himself in too much of a dark hole that he's already put himself in and get himself out of that if he hasn't already, that could be great. So I do like Almora Jr. though. I think there's still a lot of potential there with him, and he can field. He can definitely field. Han is waiting on a multi-year contract, and exactly. The belief is that the Mets are only going 1 year, and Han wants upwards of 3. They should hire Lagares as an outfield coach. I mean, you're not wrong, but strictly defense, right? Frankie Diaz, what's up, bro? What is up, my guy? Happy to have you here. Hi, I'm new. This is amazing. I love this. Oh, Philip, again, thank you so much, buddy. Bryant or Suarez? Ooh, good question. I would probably say Bryant, but I do like Eugenio Suarez quite a bit. But I would probably pick Bryant between the two. Just because Chris, there's something that tells me that he's going to have a longer career, possibly more consistent with making sure he can stay at third base than Suarez. Suarez is a guy that I could envision once he hits his mid-30s being more of a DH, if not sooner. What about Randall Grichuk from the Blue Jays since they got Springer? Grichuk, Jays fans want to get rid of, obviously. He's not a bad player. He's solid, but he's another guy that is like, I think it's a solid depth option, but not a priority one. I'm sorry. Sorry guys. I was just reading a comment for a second. I absolutely love when people decide to comment on my videos and don't even watch a second and think I'm bluffing or where am I getting my information from. I eat that stuff up for breakfast. I get it every single day. What if the Mets trade with Donaldson ain't coming. Trust me. Donaldson is never going to be a New York Met. I highly doubt it. The guy's a Met killer. I got plenty more comments to answer though, guys, so just bear with me, okay? And then I want to get into certain players one by one, and then I want to react, with you guys in the chat, how you feel about which guys would you prefer over others type thing. Luke, I have mods on my YouTube, on my NHL one, but I'll add you for once I do a live stream there again. Mets should get Bellinger for 7. Yeah, I mean, the Mets should get Mike Trout too while they're at it, right? Are Mets still in on Arenado? I think I would assume so, but are there actual reports to back that? No, there aren't. So again, I don't know. Only Sandy and Zach Scott and Steve Cohen know. What's up, Alb? Pass on Bauer. Get Sonny Gray in a third baseman, then a defensive center field. See, I'm perfectly fine with that too, Alb. I'm not against that whatsoever. I'm fine with either situation, truly. Justin Turner sounds like a good stopgap until Beatty is ready. That's fair, William. I'm not against Turner as long as he's able to take a 1 or 2 year deal. I think Beatty. I don't think Beatty's ready yet, though. I don't know about you guys. Beatty definitely needs at least 1 more year. Beatty's probably going to take another 2 years. Jared, that's funny. Whoever made that Porter account, that's funny. That is some funny shit right there. Not gonna lie, but it's kind of messed up because he's a creep. Mets are a top 5 team. They are, and they're gonna try to be one of the best teams in baseball by the time this offseason's done. What's up, Big Pump? How's it going? Anthony DeGroat, #1 Dodgers. Wow, it's almost like the Dodgers just won the World Series. Crazy. You really did some thinking there. We need Hand and Jackie Bradley Jr. Trevor would be nice, though. I mean, I think we need Hand. I don't think we need JBJ. I wouldn't mind JBJ, but the fact that he's a lefty in center, having an all lefty outfield is not appealing to Alderson from his statements over the past 10 days. So take that as you will. Mets should go for Bellinger and Jock Peterson. Get Sonny Gray, please. Dodgers, Padres, Braves, Yanks, Mets. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The Mets are a wild card team right now. Completely agree. Nemo's fine in center. His defense says otherwise, Frederick. I love Brendan Nimmo. Great on-base machine. But defense, he's subpar. That man cannot field enough in center where I feel comfortable on an everyday basis, unfortunately. Could he improve his game? Absolutely, and I would love that. But as things stand over the past 2 years, it's been telling that man definitely struggles, especially with fly balls going over his head. He always looks like 2 steps behind. A trade for Trey Turner? No way, Aaron. No way. You think the Nationals would really part ways with one of their core pieces to their rival? That would never happen. And I mean that with all due respect. What are we legit looking at here? Hannon, a center fielder. I doubt Bauer coming unless he gives a discount, being the best rotation out since the Phillies years back. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair, exactly. Will he do discount? I'm not sure. Will the Mets need him to do discount? I'm not sure either. I definitely think the Mets are going to add in the outfield. There's no doubting that. I think that they will address the bullpen. Let's have our fingers crossed that they can get hand finished. But if they don't, then it'll be interesting to see what direction they go in next. I don't see the Mets getting Bauer. He's using the Mets for leverage. I mean, he could be to an extent, but I also doubt that he's not interested in the Mets either, if that makes sense. I highly doubt that. I really do. I think he is very much interested. Boombo, what's up, buddy? What's up? Let's go Mets indeed. Happy to have you here. I think adding to the bullpen is fine, but don't want to lose JD, Conforto, McNeil, or Don. I don't want to lose either of them, Jose. I really don't. But out of those guys you just listed, JD is definitely the most susceptible of being dealt. Almora would platoon with Nimmo. Very similar to Kike's situation, Raymond. That's possible. Yep. You're in virtual school right now. You're doing night class, Philip. How's that going? We should sign our money. We should use our money and lock it up on our young guys. I mean, they will. I'm not really worried about that. We need Bauer and Arenado. We don't need them, Andre, but will we like them? Hell yes, we would like them. No, Brian. Hey, his swing, Raymond. Oh, his swing's beautiful. That's very unfortunate that you don't like it. Any deals from the Mets? I mean, besides everything that I told you on the channel, what's been going on now? And Brent with the dono, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Hype in the chat for Brent over here. LFGM. I think we should land Bradley Jr. in hand. I know that seems like the common trend. I think I'm probably going to do a video strictly on Bradley in hand tomorrow, as it is. So stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Yo, what's up, Hydro? How's it going, buddy? Yo, Dylan, you do realize that you just got yourself kicked out of the stream for talking like that. I don't get it why you have to be a dickhead. There's no reason to be acting like that. What can you compare Beatty to an MLB? That's tough. I need to see more at bats of him as he gets in higher in regards to, like AAA. Sonny, what's up? Let's go Mets indeed, buddy. Jose Rosa, what is up, buddy? Happy to have you here. What's up, Gregory? Great show as always. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Down here in Atlanta, keeping these Brave fans in check, as you should, Greg. They don't know what's about to happen, that's for sure. I prefer Ozuna, and you know I've been preaching. I know you have. I know. He's a great bat. Don't get me wrong. What are the chances of gaining Arenado? You know, that it's so tough. I would imagine that Arenado is still a possibility, but he is not a possibility if the Mets really, feel that they weren't able to get Springer because it was just too costly in the sense that they don't have enough money they're working with. If that was the case, and not so much of them not getting Springer because they didn't feel he was worth that money, then the likelihood of them gaining Arenado is probably slim to none. If that is the mindset that they went into their decision making. If it's not, then it's a different story. But what's up, guys? Again, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 100 likes. It really mean a lot, guys. And thank you all so much in advance. You guys have been awesome. Are the Mets going to sign Trevor? They may. They may. I mean, recent reports today are suggesting that they are a front runner themselves. And yes, that being in the Los Angeles Angels. Surprise, surprise. So 2023 for Beatty. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Beatty's going to be in the league for another 2 years, personally. If we get Suarez, Gray, and I center fielder, I think we will be World Series contenders. I think so too. I really do. 100 wooden Mets by the time they're done with the offseason? Possibly. What's up, the card coach? How's it going, buddy? How's it going? And I know I'm really delayed behind these comments, guys, so I apologize if I missed some of yours. Trade for Bader. Bader's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Do you mean Bader or Hader? I don't know why I'm getting them confused. Oh, okay. You mean Bader, the one from the St. Louis Cardinals. That was Pete Alonso's buddy back in their time with the Gators. They both played in Florida together. Nimmo has no arm. You're right. He doesn't have a great arm. Yep, those balls go flying over his head. Yep. You think the Mets could be close to trading for Arenado because they wasn't reports? Exactly. I mean, hey, look, I have a feeling that if the Mets do another blockbuster this offseason, it's going to come like as a surprise. We may have heard one report, but outside of that, I don't think we're going to find out anything until it actually happens. I could be wrong, but, you know, a lot of the moves the Mets have done this offseason were, you know, really kind of came out of nowhere almost. Kevin Pillar, center field, a great glove. Definitely is an upgrade over Nimmo, no doubting that. It's a shame that man's never won a gold glove in his career. It's ridiculous. You see Piazza jersey? Yeah, I see your Piazza jersey came. Oh yeah, thank you so much, Jimmy. That actually isn't the Piazza jersey that I ordered. However, the one I ordered is the black Mets Piazza jersey. That one is the Hall of Fame one that I've had because that's my father's. What's your opinion on an offer for Bauer? I'm not against it, Matt. That is what I can tell you. As long as the Mets don't drastically overpay, I'm not against Bauer whatsoever. Albert Amora is going to be our center fielder. Watch. He very well could be Josh. I would be fairly surprised, however, if he is going to be the starter in the outfield. I think that would be stretching it. We need a third baseman. Oh, I defensively, I agree on that front, but I do like JD a lot. And no, oh, Brent, you're too kind. No, that's you, buddy. Any moves? I mean, I've talked about plenty on the channel, Brandon, but there's been obviously nothing has actually happened over the past couple days since when was the last thing that happened for the Mets? Was it Lucchesi? Since Lucchesi. Do you feel something's coming soon? I do, Mason. Absolutely, I really do. Again, I do sincerely apologize, guys, if I'm a little behind here. I'm trying to do my best. I just want to try to answer you guys. Mets haven't shown interest in Bradley at all. That's actually incorrect. The Mets shown interest in Bradley the past 2 weeks. They reportedly engaged in talks with Bradley's agent. That's why I did a video on JBJ to begin with. So, do I think the Mets are going to land him? I'm not sure because it doesn't look like they want a all lefty outfield. But again, he has a really great glove and at least an average bat. His OPS is really solid. What do you think comes first? Another acquisition, a trade, or a free agent signing? Great question, Josh. Great question. I would at this point I would probably say free agent signing. That's just my gut feeling. Send you the link to the Lindor jersey. I would, Brandon, but they don't have. They were sold out when I checked the other day for this one because this was the custom one that you can make yourself through the MLB store. And that, guys, if you don't know, I am wearing a Lindor jersey right now. See guys right here. Awesome stuff. I think the Mets will get Hand and wouldn't be surprised if they address the starting pitching depth and trade for a third baseman. Yeah, I think, Jimmy, I think that'd be a perfect scenario. I really do. You got a Lindor shirt, Tyler. Awesome, buddy. If there is no DH, you can't have Dom and Nemo in the outfield together. It's that simple. Nemo shouldn't be the center fielder anyway. I agree, Sima. I do. I think you should put Nemo in the left. Would be ideal, or at least have a platoon where he's not constantly starting in center, but you also want to play him because he's so great on base. But as always, guys, we have, 250 lovely Mets fans here. You know what to do by now. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. As always, help us get to 150 likes. And more importantly, my goal here for the next short-term goal is to get a 3,000 subscribers. So if you aren't subbed, it would really mean a lot, guys. Again, I'm doing endless content here on the channel. I'm staying up mad late every single night so I can pump out at least like 2 videos a day. So I hope you guys have been enjoying it, and just know that great things are ahead. This is literally only the beginning, and I can't stress that enough. You don't know how Eddie Rosario is still a free agent? Well, I think the same could be said with all the other big names out there in free agency. If you was GM and you were trade Mats or Brandon for Trevor or... Well, Trevor's a free agent, first of all. And Bryant, I'm not sure that you would throw Mats in a deal for Bryant. I could see Nemo being a part of a deal for Bryant. Sign Bauer, trade for Eugenio Suarez, and let's go Mets. I'm not against that at all. Baez from Cubs, no. The Mets got their shortstop in the Lindor. They don't need to have Baez. As awesome as it would be to see them together, I just don't see it happening. Is someone really that bad at center field? Defensively speaking, yeah, he's below average. If Bauer comes, what would the contract look like? It all depends if it's going to be short term or long term. He would probably be looking for at least $25 million a year. I'd have to imagine upwards of 30 plus. You think Kiermaier is an option? I think he's an option, James. Do I think he's first option? No. LFG and Big Pomp, of course. What's up, Hayden? If the Mets had Steve Cohen as their owner in 2019, you think they would have got Betts and Cole? I think they would have gone Betts. I don't think they would have gone Cole because Cole isn't worth the money. Are the Mets good enough to make the playoffs now without adding anyone else? Yes, they are, Eric. I think they are. At least wild card. No, I don't use Instagram, Raphael. Marwin Gonzalez could be worth looking at for a bench spot. Switch hitter, plays infield, outfield. Yeah, he's another strong utility guy. His numbers have been a little bit down the past couple of years, if my memory is not mistaken, but another not bad option if you ask me. Dylan, why are you? I don't get it, Dylan. Why are you using secondary accounts if you're just going to be rude to me? There's literally no point in doing that. Okay, Philip. Hi, I'm 13 and in virtual school. I know because my parents are in the military. Well, hats off to your parents. I love that. Thank you. Tell them I said thank you for their service. That's awesome, buddy. Happy to have you here, though. But make sure you focus on school. You shouldn't be in the stream. Focus on school, buddy. We finna give Bauer 40 mil for cheating. I don't know about that. If anything, it would be more money, right? No, I'm joking. I don't know. What do you think comes first? Another. I answered that already, I think. Who's your favorite Met of all time? Honestly, I love David. I really do. But it's Michael Conforto, just because Conforto is like, when I really first started following the Mets, it was leading up to the 2015 season when they had their World Series run. And I've just been in love with Conforto since he had his first at bat with the Mets. I know it seems a little silly given, he hasn't been a Met for too long. And he's not like a veteran type Met in the where he's retired already, but I can't get enough of Conforto. Best swing in baseball, baby. I think they just didn't want to give Springer 150 mil. I think so too, Raymond. I think they just didn't feel he was deserving of it, especially over 6 years. I think that they were worried a little bit with the DH as well, and I think those were factors that went into it. What do I like for center field? I like not Nimmo. That's what I like. I think put Nimmo in left for center. My dream guy for center field, and I'm actually going to be doing a video on it. I'm probably going to have it uploaded for between Friday and Sunday, one of those days. My dream scenario for the Mets in center field, which will be more of a hypothetical video, is Byron Buxton. He is the most ideal guy in center for me. Who's your okay? Answer that, Ray. Would you sacrifice platooning Nimmo with an Almora being the starting center fielder if we acquire Arenado and Suarez? I would. I probably would, Jimmy. Mets are in really good spot. Although I like Bauer, I think a Brad Hand signing does pretty much make the same thing, but cheaper. It allows Lugo to slot in the rotation. Lugo will not be in the rotation. I can assure you that. He's already kicked out from the depth moves the Mets have made. Lugo is going to stay in the pen, and I feel pretty confident in that. Oh, Philip, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate that. We seem to have players in top 10 positions according to MLB.com. Yes, we do, Julio. I'm not sure how much I agree with them because they seem to disregard defense, but still. Okay. Oh, and shout out to my mods for actually doing some work here in the chat. I appreciate that because I didn't even see that until now. I love the jersey on the wall. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. That's my dad's. If Bauer signs, how likely is it the Mets would have a rotation of DeGrom, Bauer, Carrasco, Syndergaard, and Pearson after this year? No, it needs to be extended. I think it's still pretty likely. I think the Mets are going to try to lock him up. And I apologize. Don't know. By Juan, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. Shout out to Juan. I know I'm probably really delayed on that. I apologize. Gave me the $5. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. Glad we didn't get Springer. Bauer maybe for a year. What's the noise on Suarez and Gray? Okay, well, in regards to Bauer for maybe a year, it's possible. It's hard to say how likely it is because short term for a guy like Bauer, I don't know. He wanted that for the longest time. Then it seemed that he was more willing to go past 1 year. And what's the noise on Suarez and Gray? A report just came out over the past day from Mets Mesmerized, the first to break it, that the Mets have reportedly, through industry source, have reached out recently to the Reds in regards to a package deal for them. So that's the noise on that. We're looking for defenders. We are. Defense is key. Oh my. I'm so lost. I continue season the MLB that shows so many years. There's no real players. I need to catch up on MLB. I guess you do, Billy. Okay, if you could choose only one, Bauer or Hand. Bauer. Not even a question. Not even a question. I like Hand, I really do, but Bauer would have such a bigger impact on the Mets than Hand. You know, relievers come and go, but solidified rotation guys. I know that Bauer's numbers haven't been awfully consistent in his career, but if they can going forward, then hey, that he's been very impressive at times, no doubt. Who will be on the Mets by spring training, Hand or Bauer? If you're asking me which one's more likely right now, I would say Hand. We're not training for Bryant. Stop spamming. Well, I wasn't spamming. I mean, yeah, I think the Mets, the Bryant option is still there. Whether they do it or not is a different story. My favorite Met is Bobby Valentine. Nice. Do you want me to hide Dylan Foster on this channel? Do whatever you want, Owen. I mean, look, as long people just shouldn't spam and they shouldn't be rude. That's all I gotta say. We could trade for Hader, but at the same time, I don't want to give up something significant for Hader personally. I like Hader a lot, I really do, but you know he's been worked by the Brewers a lot the past couple years, and I can live without Hader. Let's put it that way. But if the Mets acquired him and were able to do it for fairly cheap, you go for it. But the Brewers would be asking for a lot. Oh, and thank you so much, Ernie, for saying like and subscribe. I appreciate that, buddy. Will the Mets have a GM by spring training? I have a feeling they won't, Eric. I have a feeling they're just going to roll with Alderson and Zach Scott as like the unofficial GMs. Nimmo and Smith for Arenado. Take out Smith, put someone else, and you got yourself a deal. I would hope that the Mets can maybe try to get a deal done without putting Dom in there. Do I think if the Mets sign Bauer will be short-term or long-term? Tough. It's really tough. I don't know. I really don't know. I have a feeling it would be in the middle, if anything, like a 3-year deal if possible. Suarez is a monster. He is a slugger through and through. Prediction for Jeff McNeil's batting average in 2021. I think Jeff McNeil in 2021 is going to bat a cool 292. So down a little bit than what we normally see with a 300 plus average. And look, if it's beyond that, then great. But I think 292 feels solid. Yeah, no, Hayden, look, this is the internet. I don't expect everyone to love me, nor do I really care either. What would be your reaction if Lugo is starter? I would be very surprised, Josh. I would. I wouldn't be pissed off or anything, but I'd be very surprised. Can we move Ronnie Mauricio to third? I'm sure we can. But I have a gut feeling Mauricio is not going to be a New York Met. Do I like the bullpen? I really do, Eric, but I think they need a lefty in there. Mets will extend Lindor even if he bats 201. Absolutely, yeah. I don't really think... Yeah, Lindor is going to get locked up. Oh, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Let's see. More comments. Oh, thank you so much, Eric, for complimenting the live stream. I appreciate that, buddy. Happy to have you here. I'm on, and both Mets fans only, and Baseball Hut spamming can be annoying. Oh, I know. It really can. It happens. I really don't care. I really don't. Do you trust Diaz or think we should trade him? I trust Diaz outside of the 9th inning. Let's put it that way. Diaz has nasty stuff, but not stuff I still feel comfortable with being your all-time closer. What about Luis? I love Luis Castillo, but the Reds are asking for a lot for him, apparently. Like Labor Torres and then some, apparently. I say bring back Justin Turner. If you can on a short-term deal to make sure that you can address other aspects of the lineup, I'm not against that. Furia, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that, buddy. And thank you all so much for checking out the stream, too. Please make sure to like and subscribe. As always, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as humanly possible. That's the next short-term goal here on the channel. So if you haven't subbed already, make sure to hit those buttons, guys. Trust me, you won't regret it. The Card Coach, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that, too, for the hype. And thank you, James. It means a lot, buddy. It really does. Would you sign Justin Turner, who we never... I wouldn't be against Justin Turner. I wouldn't, as long as it's not a long-term deal. Do you think the Mets can trade for Arenado if we give up J.D. Davis prospects and maybe one bullpen piece? To an extent. I think for Arenado, you're looking at J.D. Davis, Brandon Nimmo, those guys. You're probably looking at least another prospect that's out of the top 10. And yeah, it all depends on how cornered the Rockies feel and how desperate they are in getting rid of that contract. And they are pretty desperate because they won't be able to keep both him and Trevor Story. And it looks like that they want Trevor Story. I heard the Mets are front runner for Trevor. So do I, James. That's why I did a video on it earlier. That's funny. Who would be the left fielder if Nimmo goes? Oh, that's a good question. That's actually why I want to get into some more players here now. So I think that's actually what I'm going to segue to, guys. So bear with me. I'm going to continue answering questions, but I want to get into more individual players and share my thoughts, okay? So bear with me, guys. Will the Mets have a name closer? Maybe not right away, but eventually throughout the season, I would imagine. Oh, and thank you so much for the compliment, Mothman. I really appreciate that, buddy. Happy to have you here. And guys, as always, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Let's roll. Let's try to get to 200 likes. That really mean a lot. Black jerseys, yeah, they're coming back. James Paxton, I'm not for James Paxton personally. I've never been a huge on James Paxton over the past year or two. I really think the Mets could do that Reds trade. I think so too. I really do. They should announce the DH situation already. Oh, Todd, don't even get me started on the DH, Todd. Don't get me started. You don't want a rant already right now. That's the worst thing you're asking for. I've been ranting about the DH and every single thing. And Michael, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to Michael Kramer. Thank you very much, my man. I think Cohen will pull the trigger on Bauer by this weekend. I like your optimism, Travis. It's better than mine, but I really do enjoy it. Gets me hyped. SMI thinks Alonso is on pace for 59 home runs. I mean, Alonso, I think, is definitely going to have more seasons consistently between 40 and 50 home runs. So I don't know if he's going to hit upwards of 60, but that would be insane. I would go ballistic. Oh, and John, thank you so much for the compliment saying you love my show. It means a lot, buddy. Again, so happy to have you here. So grateful to have all you guys here, truly. They need to lock Lindor up before season starts. They will. I'm confident in that. Which current Met will not be in a Mets jersey in 2022? Steven Matz. Another thing to think about in regards to signing Bauer. If they do, it'll cost the second pick in this year's draft and international pool money. Sandy did say they want to restock the farm system. That's another fair point, Al. I'm glad he brought that up. Do I think that's a huge factor into acquiring him or not? I don't. But it is another thing to put in consideration as you're weighing those options. Jose Ramirez. Oh, I love Jose Ramirez. Yeah, I wouldn't be against Jose. I would not. I just don't know if Jose is on their radar currently. Look, the Mets were a front runner for Springer for the longest time, and I have a feeling that things kind of changed up last minute where they couldn't land him. So I wouldn't compare the Springer situation definitely in hand with Bauer. Look, do I think Bauer's going to land with the Mets? I don't know. Am I excited knowing that they're supposedly one of the front runners along with the Angels? Hell yes, I am. Why wouldn't I be? Anytime you're connected to a big name free agent or player in the trade market, it's very hard to not be excited about that, and you just want to know more. Oh, Frank, thank you so much. Been a Mets fan since 1962. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. So happy to have you here. Can they get Suarez without Gray? I'm sure they can, but it seems that they want both, Robert. And shout out to you, Robert. I always appreciate you, buddy. Will the Mets have a name closer? Oh, I answered that already. I'm just behind as heck right now. Minus Arenado, who do you want to see trade the Mets? Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton. You guys picked up that I like Byron Buxton? I want Byron Buxton. Give me Byron Buxton right now, damn it. Luis Castillo is the better move, but he's also the more costly move. Take that into account. Latest news. Mets' biggest possibility for center field is Almora and Bradley. Well, yeah, that's kind of predictable through the free agent market, at least. Eric, so happy to have you, buddy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Price for Lindor is definitely going to be at least $300 million for 10 years, a decade. Do you think Bauer is going to sign with the Angels? I think he has I think Bauer has a solid chance of staying with in LA area. I think he has a very strong chance of staying in Cali. But if he wants to, try to build his brand more and go for a team where he knows he's going to have the most success, because let's be honest, if we're weighing between the Mets and the Angels, I feel pretty damn confident the Mets are going to have more immediate success. You go with the Mets. Oh, Anthony, thank you so much, Anthony Ranger. I appreciate that. So happy to have you here. I think we are going to end up with Sonny Gray and Eugenio Suarez before the weekend is over. Oh, sign me up. I'm not against that. Do you think the Jared Porter thing had something to do with Springer? To an extent, I do, Hernandez. Hopefully not too drastic, but to an extent. Oh, Sanchez, thank you so much. Rewarding drafting Mark on my favorite YouTubers right now. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I love Mark. Shout out to him for letting me do a collaboration with him. That was awesome. And I'll be doing something with him again in the coming months. Can't wait for the Black Lindor jersey. I know it's going to be sick, Daniel. Absolutely sick. Ozuna, Hand, and Kike and call it offseason. That's solid too. That's all. I mean, Ozuna is not helping you defensively, but offensively, oh my God, are you getting it bat right there? He's very Cespedes-esque. Hopefully just not the head case, right? After missing out on Springer, I'm feeling like we should send JD and Dom to Denver for Arenado. Hold off on Dom, and then we're talking. Fun fact, Conforto is 10 homers shy of being Mets. That's awesome. I love the fact that he's already going to be breaking records soon. Unpopular opinion, there's a slight chance Mets sign Cora to play Correa. I don't see it. I really don't. I want to see reports, and then we can start talking on Correa, honestly. Roy becomes a different person when a DH gets put in the conversation. Yes, I do, Aaron. Yes, I do. You think we can get Arenado out giving up the Rockies Nimmo? Possibly, but I wouldn't bet on it. I think Nimmo would probably be part of the deal. I feel like DH thing in the NL wouldn't work. Oh, I think so too. I think it would work. It worked tremendously. The Mets benefited the most out of it in the short 2020 season. Are you kidding? And thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate that as always. Why are they taking so long to the DH? Oh, don't get me started on the DH. I don't know. The MLB's incompetent with simple things, apparently. What about trade Syndergaard for Castillo? Boo. I don't see that happening just because I don't see how that upgrades the Reds by any stretch of the imagination. You're trading still a fairly young controllable pitcher for another fairly young controllable pitcher. I don't see why the Reds would do that. When they're trying to free up salary too. Syndergaard's going to be costing some big money real soon. If Bauer comes to the Mets, it will likely be on a short-term deal. I mean, that very well could be the case, Smear. Jillian, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Happy to have you here. How would you feel if we got Matt? I don't know who Matt is. I apologize. Suarez and Sonny is easily the best possible trade that can happen. I mean, on paper right now, it's hard to disagree with that. They should bring back black jerseys. They will. They will. I think they will. All right, let's read some more comments here, guys. And guys, as always, smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 200 likes. We're almost at the 150 mark, so it really mean a lot. And it does help with the algorithm too. The more you chat, the more you like, the more you do anything interacting here on the channel, it does go a long way in helping reach out to others. Luis Castillo being traded 3 times for almost nothing is it's not the fact that he's, I know, granted, I know that Castillo's taken a little bit to develop, but I agree. He is one of the best change-ups in baseball right there, baby. Trade for Laureano. I like Laureano. I do. I just don't know if that's an actual option for the Mets. You know, I have not seen anything to confirm that outside of just, you know, hypotheticals, how that would be a good idea, right? Do you think if the Mets sign Bauer, that deal might get more press than the Lindor Carrasco deal? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because of the type of person and personality Bauer is, there's no doubt in my mind it would get more press. Buxton is great defense. He can fly. He's got Jose Reyes speed. That's how fast he is. Why would I trade for Buxton? Don't worry, I'm gonna do a video on it. I'm not gonna give up too much in tonight's stream in regards to Buxton because I gotta save that for a video. Do you think Bauer is gonna sign with the Angels? I think he has a solid chance going there. I do. And I was just so behind. Oh my. I'm so behind. I apologize, guys. Anthony Tacoma just tweeted out again, just quote tweeting what was announced earlier about Bauer and how the Mets and the Angels are the front runners for Bauer. Okay. Can you not put the comments that you're answering on the screen with you? Not right now, Michael. No, because you need a certain software for that. And I just don't have it on me at the moment. That's why. I'll do it eventually. I just haven't gone around to doing it because people normally pay for that, but I'm trying to find loopholes where I can have it on the screen without paying. Is Real Muto to San Fran possible? I don't know. It would be so weird to see Real Muto to San Fran. You know, like the heir apparent, the next man up to Buster Posey. That would be interesting. Yeah, no, I think they'll extend Syndergaard. What do you think about Jock Peterson? Ain't happening because the Mets already have DH options and he's a lefty. Just don't see it happening. And Kike Hernandez off the bench. I love Kike. That's why I did a video on him earlier. The Mets showing interest in him. Kike wants, however, a good amount of playing time, which is not something I initially realized. So hopefully if the Mets land him, it does mean that Kike will get a good amount of playing time. Daniel Murphy back. Hell to the no, Jose. No. Are the Mets black jerseys coming back? Yes, I do believe they are. The Mets can be World Series contenders this year if they continue to make more moves this offseason. What about a deal with the Cubs for Chris Bryant? I mean, I've touched about Chris Bryant so many times here on the channel. I think that still is a possibility. I just don't know if talks have, picked up since then for the last couple weeks. Anonymous NYM, don't apologize for being late, buddy. I'm happy to have you here. Thoughts on Ketel Marte? And thank you so much. I appreciate for the kind words, Macho. I think Ketel Marte would be an awesome get, but he would be a hefty price. And I think he would have been more likely had Jared Porter still been GM because of his connection, obviously, most recently being an assistant GM in Arizona. So I don't know how much stock there is with the Ketel Marte situation. LGM Mets Nation, absolutely. Lugara's coming back. I don't know, Matt. I don't know. Any talk about Byron Buxton? He would be a great choice for center. I mean, yeah. Again, I'm gonna do a video on Byron Buxton and my thoughts on him and why we should basically talk it into existence of becoming a possibility because he's the man. Just sign Bauer and we are set. Great pitching wins games. The Mets have elite starting pitchers. I agree, Henry. I agree. That'd be nastiest rotation baseball. The Mets should try trading for Javier Baez. I would have said maybe if they didn't get Lindor, but there's no way that they're going to be doing that. Plus, Javi isn't nearly as good of a player. Javi's really entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but he's not great on base. That guy does struggle to get on base. You proposed to Rachel a little bit today. How'd that go, Vincent? You really think that she would give you the benefit of the doubt? She's too worried about trying to get Bauer's contract, right? Matt should definitely not be in any discussion. He needs to get out of Queens immediately. I have a feeling he's on his way out. I do. With the depth moves that the Mets are doing, I don't see how you fit him as it is currently. Do you think the reason for not getting Arenado is because his contract is too big? In part, Aaron. In part. But, it goes between that, the asking price for, just what you're trading. Multiple factors go into why Arenado. And also because the Mets have never reportedly to date actually said that, hey, we're like showing interest in Arenado. He's a situation where if the Mets trade for him, we probably won't know about it until it happens. I don't think Bauer going to the Angels. Mickey Callaway didn't get along when they were in Cleveland. I don't know exactly much about that. I don't know about the relationship, but I'm gonna just take your word for it here, William. If that's true, who knows? Who knows? Who wins the East? Who wins the West? I ain't answering that yet, guys. I do not do predictions way ahead with the MLB because how much more moves needs to happen this offseason. So I'm going to halt on that. The Flyers lost Vincent. Good. I'm not a Flyers fan. If the Mets were to get Ozuna, how would you feel if we got him for a 1-year deal, and how much would you give him? Well, I feel like it would be unlikely for the Mets to land Ozuna on a 1-year deal. But for him, you're probably coughing up, I would say, anywhere between 15 to 20 million if it's a 1-year deal, especially. The guy has a hot bat. More likely to re-sign Conforto and Lindor? I would say both, ZMF. I'm not picking one or the other. Hunter, what is up, buddy? What is up? What is up, guys? Okay, let's see. More comments, more time to answer. Okay. Brody Van Wagenen's Twitter and Instagram bio is Mets General. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it was the same with Alderson when he left the Mets originally. So it is what it is. Do you think the reason for not... Oh, I answered that, Ray. I'm just repeating stuff. Is Tanaka to San Fran possible? Tanaka to San Fran could be a possibility. I could see Tanaka and Cali in some way, shape, or form. What's going to happen to Cano? Hopefully he just never is a New York Met again. That's what I hope. I hope he gets either bought out or somehow dumped. But I think Cano is going to get bought out. I know he's not great on defense, but Puig might be possible if they move him to center. I don't think Puig is that possible just because you're banking on a lot from him, honestly. And he has a strong bat, but, Puig is a guy where I don't think is realistic for the Mets. He is awfully reminiscent of a Cespedes, for instance. New York is the best landing spot for Bauer, period. Big market, big exposure. You're not wrong there. You are absolutely not wrong there. I do think we need to find some defense, so it helps the pitching to be more efficient. I think they should sign Bradley, says James. I mean, I'm not against Bradley. I'm not, but I'm not either. I'm also not in love with the idea of having an all-lefty outfield, and neither is Sandy Alderson. Maybe Matz and Familia to Rays, since they tend to lend. I could see Matz going to the Rays. Matz to the Rays, I could definitely see that. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think just the AL East in general, the Rays or the Blue Jays. Okay, here we go. More questions. Cano contract can go in Arenado trade. Hopefully, if a trade were to happen, I'd be all for it. Do you think that Cespedes will be solid this year? Possibly, just not for the New York Mets. Having a bad center fielder, Nimmo, or is it better to have a bad hitter with awesome defense there? Nimmo to left and Dom to DH. I feel the DH is a lock. I think so too. I think that it's better, honestly, to have a bad hitter in the outfield that has stellar defense because of just how much that they can help you and save runs with their DRS. JBJ, hand, Kike. Everyone wants JBJ in hand. I'm doing a video on tomorrow, so. Littell is solid too. Jose Martinez is like a Marcell Ozuna. Marcell can just play more defense slightly. I mean, Martinez is solid, but Marcell Ozuna is a far better hitter than Martinez. Where do you think Bauer is going? It seems to me it's either the Angels or the Mets. But if you're asking for my three, I think it's the Angels, the Mets, or the Dodgers. I felt the Padres for a while, but them after getting Musgrove, I find it hard to believe that they would be able to get him. Am I from NY? I am from NY. I don't live in New York. I live in Pennsylvania, but I'm originally from Long Island. Mickey coming back as bullpen coach? Hell no. I pray to God not. Who are you trading for Buxton? You gotta wait and see, Raymond. You gotta wait and see. Not spoiling too much right now, because I'm still thinking about that hypothetical too. Because trust me, Buxton would not be cheap. No way. Matt's Familia, a prospect for Kiermaier. I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against that at all. But Kiermaier can't hit. You're going for strictly defense. Jock Peterson, lefty, isn't a natural center fielder. Nah, not happening. Don't see it happening, Guillermo. Respectfully speaking. Do you see a deal where the Mets could jump salary with the market being the way it is? To an extent. It won't be easy. It's hard to believe if they could do strictly a salary dump. I think if you're getting rid of some salary, it'll be part of a bigger trade. When do I think Bauer will sign? I honestly don't know, Owen. I don't know. Trust me, I wish I knew. I don't. Would I rather have Lindor on the field or Gary Cohen announcing games? Why would you ask such a question, Matt? Why do you say that? I'm having both. I don't have to choose between the two, Matt. That was such a bizarre question. I'm surprised sign Real Muto and ship McCann to Colorado. Hell to the no, Aaron. Keep McCann. I love McCann. I've been a bigger McCann than Real Muto throughout McCann's career since he started with the White Sox. I don't want to see McCann go. And he has 1,000 less innings roughly on his knees. Sign me up. Is Nimmo a top 10 center fielder? No. When you're actually looking at his defense, he's not. Offensively, he is. The man gets on base like a machine, but defensively, he's not. I will love Bauer for NY blogging. Also, if we sign Bauer, we can still extend Lindor and Conforto. You're right. I'm sure we can. How much money does Han want? Han's probably looking per year anywhere between 8 and 10 million. I met JBJ. He's a cool dude. Hope he comes to the Mets. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Gary. That's really cool. Where do you rank our offense with the DH? As it currently stands, it's definitely top 5 in baseball, in my opinion. It definitely is. If the Mets do any more moves this offseason, which they inevitably will, they could very well sneak into top 3. This offense is going to be deadly. Absolutely deadly. We're in Long Island. Oh, I used to live in Green Long Island. I love Gary Cohen's call when Frazier hit that home. Oh, I know. It was such a good game. I know. MLB Network says he's top 5, but MLB Network is also smoking crack. And I mean that as a joke, obviously. But no, defensively, he's not there. I would be highly disappointed if the Reds trade Suarez or Gray for nothing less than a top 3 prospect. From a Reds side of things, you're going to try to get as much as you possibly can. But I don't know exactly how much in the corner they feel they are, if at all. But it does seem that they're trying to free up salary once again, per usual. And as always, guys, thank you all so much for being here. It means a lot. Please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 200 likes. We're just around 40 away. And I know we're an hour into this thing. I've just been wanting to answer all your questions, so that's why I haven't necessarily broken down certain players just yet, but I really do want to. So once I start to get caught up, guys, if you don't mind, I would like you to halt just slightly in the comments, so that way I can kind of pivot into talking about specific players deeper, and that way you can be like, let me know your thoughts about them type thing. Okay. I would be okay, I read that already. You grew up in Northport. Nice. Yes, Nimmo and Smith for Arenado. Keep Smith. Thoughts on Starling Marte? I would have liked Marte when he was still with the Pirates. At this point, I don't think it's worth it. Again, the MLB Network rankings aren't saying that he's 5th guy to play center. Just overall, his value plays in this area. It's much different. That's true, Christian. That is. But even overall, when you look at his overall game, even with his value, I don't think he's top 5. He has great on base, but his defense is what's going to continue to lag. The best home run call was Cabrera hitting that walk-off home run against Philly, I believe. Oh, my God. As dribble, yeah. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. The double bat flip with both hands. Where do you rank S&Y broadcasting trio in MLB? Number 1. Is there bias there? Obviously, but yeah, number 1. What's your thoughts on Alvarez? I think Alvarez is pretty solid. I would love it if he's the best catcher since Piazza, but I think James McCann is going to really, really surprise a lot of people. I freaking love James McCann. I think he's going to do a lot for the Mets. What would you rate the Mets from 1 to 10? 10 being the best without any other free agents right now. I would say right now, how things stand for the Mets, you're probably looking at right around 6.5, I would say. Castillo would be a better option than Bauer in long term. Absolutely. But Castillo would cost a lot more in regards to the actual, trade chip part. Who reminds you more of a Mets legend? Arenado and Wright or Lindor and Reyes? Oh. Ooh, I like that. I like that so much. Honestly, though, Lindor and Reyes. Just, they're switch hitters, speed demons, amazing glove, Lindor and Reyes. Arenado, you know who honestly reminds me so much of David Wright, even though he's not a third baseman? Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt reminds me a lot of David Wright. That Cano trade was horrible. Oh, I know. It was absolutely horrible. We all know this. Any of our prospects are going to be able to help the club this year? I'm not sure. I honestly don't think so. At least from the infield and outfield side of things. But time will tell. I don't think they're going to rush anyone because they don't need to. I would be highly disappointed if the Reds trade Suarez and Gray for nothing less than a number 3 prospect. I answered that already. Just shows you how behind I am. I apologize, guys. Favorite Mets player is Strawberry. Awesome. In terms of WAR, who are 5 guys in center that have a larger WAR than Nimmo? Value. I mean, off the top of my hand, Christian, I don't have an answer to you, so I would have to look that up in a minute. Vin, subscribe. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. So happy to have you here. Trade for Mike Moustakas, maybe? Nah. I would want Suarez before Moose. I was really interested in Moose, especially during his time with the Royals when he helped smack the Mets around in the World Series, but no. Moose was a guy that I really wanted the Mets to go after before he went to the Brewers, but I wouldn't want him at this stage in his career. Do you think the Reds trade will happen? I hope so, Eric. I feel fairly optimistic about it, but, again, only time will tell. Best commentary is Mets, hands down. Absolutely. Go for Lorenzo or Kane at center. Lorenzo is a guy I'm not that enticed by, mainly because he's already 34. If you're doing a short-term option, then okay, I get it. I want to be against Lorenzo Kane for, a couple years, but, at 34 years of age, the guy's been injury prone lately. He's a guy that I think, while he's great defensively, don't get me wrong, he can get on base. He's consistent, but normally when you hit 34, you really start to see decline. And I have worries with that. I would much prefer a young guy that can continue to develop and already is at least above average defensively in center, for me personally. I know they avoid over Pete in first base. Hopefully Pete can really flip that around. Best play-by-play call I ever heard was Piazza. The 9/11, absolutely. It doesn't get any better than that. Bauer to Angels or Mets? What's your take on this? Well, I actually just did a video on it, Mike. So if you want to check that video out, make sure you do after this live stream. But my take is that it's interesting. The Angels make so much sense and the Mets make some sense. I think Bauer would be great in NY should they be able to get a deal done. I'm just not sure if they would. What do you think is more likely over the next 3 to 5 years? The Mets win a World Series or the Rangers win a cup? Mets, hands down, Josh. Hands down. Even as a Rangers fan. The Rangers are still in a rebuild. The Mets are in a full win now stage. So I would say Mets World Series. Okay, answer that already. Bauer's coming to the Angels. I hope not, but it does. I have that somewhat sense too. I know Kelenic is untouchable, but would the Mariners pick up the phone if we offered Davis, Nimmo, and Mauricio? No way. They wouldn't. They would not. They would not. No way. The Mets will get Kelenic back. Don't worry. It'll be when he's 26 in his prime and he hits free agency, and the Mets will throw him a $300+ million deal over 10 years. Don't worry. They'll get him. They're just not right now. They'll get him when they need to get him, right? What do you think they're going to do with Cano? Oh, I think they're going to just bury the contract. You should do giveaways if possible with time. Henry, yeah, maybe eventually. I mean, I don't really have anything to give away right now. You know, I'm a young 20-year-old who's trying to make a living out of YouTube. I got to reach a certain point. So eventually, giveaways could be something I wouldn't be against. You hated Keon Bronx? I was not a Keon Broxton fan either. Okay, all right, guys. All right. So just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to start talking about some players further, okay? All right, so let's take a look here, guys, in regards to the players here. So starting off with Nolan Arenado, all right? There's been a lot of talk of the town with Nolan Arenado. Everyone wants Nolan Arenado, it would seem, and I don't blame them. Nolan's the man. You know, this guy has freaking more gold gloves and platinum gloves than I can even begin to tell you. I think Arenado would be absolutely amazing for the Mets. The big question is with Arenado, though, is more so, are the Mets actually showing interest currently? Are they going to show interest? Is that a route that they can go down? Because, again, when you're talking about what can actually happen with the Mets in this offseason, you have to look at the Springer idea. It'll only be a ticking time bomb. Time will tell in regards to Springer. If they did, in fact, not get Springer because of the fact that they just simply didn't want to throw him that money because they didn't feel he was deserving, then you can say that Arenado is still a possibility. Then I'm in for it. Arenado, it doesn't get any better than that. He's the best third baseman to go after. I think the Mets could very well make a package deal happen and something that they don't have to give up too much. It's somewhat similar to the Lindor deal. And yes, I know he has an opt-out after 1 year into his 2021, after his 2021 contract is done. But besides that, I think that isn't a worry. You know, if he comes to the Mets, he's not opting out. I think we can all agree on that. The Mets aren't going to be anything short of really World Series contenders for the next couple years. So I love that. I love the thought of Arenado. Time will tell, and I plan on touching on him further in another video. And now gain on to a guy like Laureano for the A's. Another really solid trade option. You have to take into consideration that with the A's, they are the analytics gurus. Billy Beane started it all a couple decades ago. And they have been able to really get the best out of their players more than any other organization, arguably. The Rays have done a great job as well among some other teams that are smaller market, for instance. But when you're looking at a guy of his caliber, instance, I'm not against that trade, but the thing that's holding me back is there's been nothing connected with him outside of hypotheticals whatsoever. So I don't know if that's even a realistic option for the Mets. I don't know if that's something that they're actually going down. But you can look at the connection there with Sandy Alderson. Sandy knows him very well during his time in the A's organization. So that is something where you can maybe put 2 and 2 together and see if you get something. And obviously the A's would have to be willing to part ways. And the A's aren't going to be taking on much of any salary. So it would have to be a trade that definitely benefits them with getting more young, controllable talent. And then getting on to other guys as well. Jackie Bradley Jr. Again, I cannot stress this enough, guys. JBJ is a great glove. I don't think there's anything wrong with him whatsoever. But the issue with him is him being a lefty in center field. That is the biggest issue, guys. Sandy Alderson over the past 2 weeks stated on a podcast with John Heyman for the MLB saying how he is trying to prioritize going after a righty bat in the outfield, not a lefty. If that is the case, then JBJ is more than likely not going to land with the Mets. Could he still land with them? He absolutely can, but it just wouldn't add up from what Sandy at least stated over the past 2 weeks. Does that mean that he could go back on his word? Does that mean that he said that in the point in time with the full belief that they were going to get George Springer? Now that they didn't get George Springer, that JBJ is now the full plan B option? That's a possibility too, but again, only time will tell. Then you get on Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer, I just touched on him in my previous video. So if you guys have not checked that out, please make sure you do. And again, if you guys are enjoying this live stream, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Don't worry, I'm going to catch up to all your comments as soon as I'm done ranting about these players here. But help us get 3,000 subscribers. That is definitely the end goal here. Hopefully within the next couple of days, if we can maybe get there by the beginning next week, that would be amazing. So that is another short-term goal of mine. So thank you all so much again in advance for the support. But getting on to Trevor Bauer, the pros of Trevor Bauer, we know this by now, but the pros of Trevor Bauer, the situation is, one, he's still young. He just turned 30. His birthday literally just happened 4 days ago, I believe. Trevor Bauer would bring so much to the Mets. I'm not against his personality. I know a lot of people, you either love him or hate him. I'm in the love it category. I've never had a big issue with Trevor Bauer, but I understand the people that don't like him. We can respectfully agree to disagree. Trevor Bauer on the right type of contract is something that I am not against whatsoever. He would easily make this rotation probably the best in baseball at that point. When you have the 2020 NL Cy Young Award winner and the both 2018 and 2019 NL Cy Young Award winner in the same roster, in the same lineup, in the same rotation, By God, it does not get much better than that. So Trevor Bauer, sign me up. I've never been against Trevor Bauer. Then when you get up to some other guys here, let's take Justin Turner, for instance. Short-term depth option, sign me up. I'm not against that at all. I don't think I wouldn't be against Justin Turner, because if the Mets did that, we would probably know that, because that means that they're trying to allocate more money elsewhere in a Justin Turner situation, and he would be more short-term. But the downside of that situation is, okay, if we want to see JD play, which I am in favor of seeing JD Davis play, but if you want to see more than that, why are you then going to allow a guy, Justin Turner, who's just a placeholder for a couple years, and then you're taking time away from JD trying to continue to work on his defensive game? So that is the supposition of that situation. If you're looking at Chris Bryant, for instance, Chris Bryant is another great get, another possibly realistic get for the Mets. I don't know if talks have picked up since then, since the past couple weeks. It looks like that they chimed in on him before the Lindor trade happened, so it makes you wonder, okay, is that even still an option? With the assumption that maybe it is, there were reports that they were looking at Alvarez, which is the Mets' number 7 prospect. I would have to imagine that the Mets are not trying to get rid of Alvarez. He's one of their more coveted prospects. But Chris Bryant, another very similar situation to Lindor. You get him, he's 1 year rental, and then he becomes a free agent. The Mets are not trading for him as a rental. They would trade him and easily try to keep him, lock him up long term. And I feel that they can. It might cause a little bit of an issue in regards to the Conforto front, in regards to Thor. But those things only time will tell exactly how much money the Mets are working with. So with saying that, I'm going to look at more of your comments here, guys. So just bear with me. And Brad Hand as well. I'll get a Brad Hand one more time here for the people in the back. Brad Hand's situation is as follows. There are numerous teams that have shown interest in Brad Hand, with the Los Angeles Angels being one of them. They're pesky. The Angels just love to try to get in the Mets' way this offseason, because they both are going after a lot of the same players. Same thing with the Jays, and the Jays actually won that between the battle for a guy of George Springer. But in Brad Hand, he would fit the Mets perfectly. They need a lefty. There's no doubting that, guys. But Brad Hand, he's looking for upwards of 3 years. The Mets don't want to go past 1. They'll probably meet in the middle around 2 if the deals get done. So let's have fingers crossed that they can land him probably on a 2-year deal around $20 million. If you can get him from 16 to 18 mil, then that's great, even better. Karen, just bear with me 1 second, guys. I will be literally right back. It'll just take 2 seconds. And we're back. All right. Now the time to answer some guys. And thank you so much. We've had over 220 plus people, up to 270 at the peak in this live stream the entire time. Thank you all so much, guys. Please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. As always, if you're new to the channel, really mean a lot. Help us get a 3K subscribers, guys. We're getting so close. Okay. What do you think the Blue Jays get some pitching for the rotation? What do I think? I think that they can. I do think that that's very well a possibility, if that's what you're alluding to. Where do you think Marcus Semien will go? I don't know. Semien is a wild card for me. He's one of those interesting guys coming from the A's with, I mean, Semien in my mind, and, it all depends on exactly how the Rays would look at it. But if the Rays can afford it, I could see Semien going to another smaller market team. I really could. Another analytically driven team, because I think that's where he's going to continue to thrive. If the Mets get Bauer, then start talking. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Jonathan. I love Bauer, but he's a little over. Yeah, I can agree Bauer's overrated. There's no doubting that. It's because he's the biggest pitching free agent on the market. Obviously, he's going to be overrated. Chris Bryant said that baseball is getting boring now. He actually just called out ESPN for that. I will say it's funny, though, because Anthony Rizzo had the same thing that happened with him a couple years back. I don't know if you guys remember how, there shouldn't be like a full 162 game season. It's too much. Interesting. The Jays are good. Okay, my stuff just skipped. 1 second, guys. Oh, wait, I'm confused. I'm confused. Wait, I'll give you a kiss. Delete my comment. Nah, it's gotta stay up. Oh, that's so funny. You guys are funny. Jays are winning the World Series? Yeah, maybe in like 4 years. I'm upset we didn't get Springer because Mummies is so bad in center. They have a lot of young guys, but most of them suck. Who? You love your Mets. Absolutely, Ezekiel. That's awesome, buddy. Jays are not a good team. That's a lie. The Jays are a very good up-and-coming team. Simeon back to Oakland or Minnesota? Minnesota is a solid pick, too. I'm curious how they would utilize him there, but not bad. Is serious rumors Gray and Suarez? Yes. I touched on that on the channel a day ago. Yes, that is serious. Hearing Yankees fans laugh at Mets fans about losing out on Springer while Jays are in their division. Whatever makes them sleep at night, right? How long do you think the Mets will take to pick someone up or possibly trade for someone? I think, honestly, the Mets will have another deal done by Monday. Just gut feeling. I think the Mets should make a play for Ian Happ in center. Ian Happ isn't bad, but Ian Happ wouldn't be a first pick for me. John Morosi was on the JJ at late night show on WFAN, and Morosi said he would be surprised if Bauer went to the Mets. Yeah, I mean, I think we all would to an extent, just because how ingrained Bauer has been in Cali. So I don't think that's wrong for him to say. The same way a lot of people were surprised with Springer going to the Jays, however. Yo, what's good? What's up, Brian? Happy to have you here, buddy. And as always, guys, thank you all so much for being here. Smash that like and subscribe button, as always, if you're new. Help us get to 200 likes. We're literally so close, guys. Come on. Smash that like button. It really means a lot. Hannah was looking between 2 and 3, but the original belief that he was looking for 3, the Mets were looking at 1, so you probably mean the middle around 2. What if we get Simeon and we have him at second and put McNeil in left? Not a terrible idea, but I want to see McNeil in the infield personally. If Springer hits the Game 7 winning home run against the Mets, I'll be pissed off. I mean, yeah, I would be too. Let's hope that never even, is a possibility. Literally, my whole room is Mets theme. My walls are Mets colors, Mets point. Oh, I'm very jealous, Mets fan. Michael, I'm very jealous. It's better than my room. I can tell you that much. Mets or Rangers? I mean, I love them equally because I'm a huge hockey fan too. So I'm not gonna answer that. I meant to say Nimmo sucks instead of stupid autocorrect. I mean, look, Nimmo isn't terrible in center, but he's below average on defense. We can all agree. You think we're going to get Bauer? I think it's a possibility, Brian. I think the likelihood just got higher. But you really just said the Mets are a better team than the Yankees. I didn't say that. I think the Mets will be, though, sooner than later. I do think that much. I honestly do think that. I think the Mets have the potential, by the time they're done with this offseason, could be ahead of the Yanks already. And I'm not even joking. And I'm not saying what that would bias either. When you look at the lineup, it's hard to go against it. And the Yanks are always hurt too. They don't even have a competent rotation. They're still banking on Severino when Severino has never been healthy. Some guy named Vince Geronimo has a top first baseman list that doesn't include Paul Goldschmidt. That's a shame. Paul's a man. He's so underrated. My room is Mets up. You can see from my video. I know. It looks awesome, Hayden. Gotta sign David Wright jersey for Christmas. That's awesome, Brian. So jealous. So jealous. What do you do? Bauer, 6 years, $200 million? No, Colby, I wouldn't. If I was the one making the decision, I probably wouldn't. It's a lot of money, a lot of term. You got to paint your walls blue and orange now. Yeah, maybe one day. Who is your next priority free agent since Springer's off the board? It's hard to go against Brad Hand right now, honestly. It really is. Outside of him, though, I love Kike Hernandez. I really like that connection there. Both those are awesome. Bauer is a priority, of course, but it's something that, I think it just, time will play out on that front. Minnesota do want to bring back Marwin Gonzalez. I'm sure they do. I mean, the Mets didn't need Springer. He definitely would have been helpful. But the Mets didn't get him for a reason. They could have gave the $150 million, but they felt he wasn't worthy enough. Honestly, I think that is truly what the mindset was. I think the reality is that Springer wasn't going to come here since we were able to trade for Lindor. In Toronto, he can be the man and the main person of focus. I call it I'm the man syndrome. That's fair too. I'm not sure exactly how much stock I would put into that personally, Greg, just because I think a lot of factors probably went into the Springer situation. But that's another thing to consider. If you want to be the face of the franchise type situation, he maybe would have been like, all right, now I'm not going to be that because of Lindor. But at the same time, is he really being that selfish? I'm not sure. How about sign Bauer and trade Stroman? Stroman ain't getting traded. I can tell you that much. What's a max amount of money you would give to Bauer? It all depends on the term. It really all depends on the term. I would not want to go past 25 mil a year. Definitely would not. What's your opinion on Stroman? I like Stroman. I do. I want to see consistency out of him though, because he's all talk, no show. And reality is that Stroman was not going to be with the Mets this year if Cohen didn't become owner. He clearly opted out, and I can bet all the money in the world it wasn't because of the pandemic. Personally, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I like Stroman. I like his attitude on the mound. I like that he shows emotion. I just want to see consistency out of him because again, he's a lot of talk. He's been grinding out this offseason. I want to see him perform. You know, that's all I can ever ask for is to see the guy succeed. And not anonymous is real Suarez and Gray. Go to the Mets. I hope so. I tweet, can you check it live on stream? It's an article. I think it's important. Okay. All right. You got it, buddy. Oh yeah, Gary Sheffield Jr. Yeah, I don't know why he would say something like that. Yeah, Mets land blockbuster deal to bring Sonny Gray, Eugenio Suarez to Queens. Yeah, I don't clickbait like that. Like that's ridiculous. Why would you say that? It's not even like it's a question. He made that a statement. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Thanks for showing me. Like really? That's honestly stupid. There's no question. For all we know, that deal isn't even going to happen. Like, stupid. They felt that was too old for the amount of money. Remember, they said they weren't going to be doing that. Yep. Any tips on how to start following hockey? I really want to, but don't know how. I would say do your research, Edward. Just know the basic fundamentals of hockey first. Make sure you know what you're watching first and foremost, and then start rolling. I'll propose this to you. Pick a player between A and B. A, average 258, on base percentage 390, slugging 448, 838 fielding, and center field 989. Or player B, 239 average, 321 slugging. I feel I know who this is. In all honesty. Andrew, would I be wrong to believe that player B here is Kike Hernandez? Let me know. And would I be wrong to suggest that player A is Brandon Nimmo? Let me know. They felt that he was too old. Oh, okay, I read that already. Oh, thank you all so much for 200 likes, guys. I really appreciate that. You guys are real ones. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I think trade for Mauricio. Yeah. And if we resign Lindor term, we have zero use for him. I mean, yeah, exactly. If you do sign him long term, unless you put him to third, you don't have a lot of use for him. You're right. Yeah, Stroman does have a new one. He messes with his mechanics all the time and in game, like during the pitch, which I do find entertaining. I think we should take Tanaka in hand. I'm not for Tanaka personally. I'm not for Tanaka. I think his elbow is a ticking time bomb. That UCL, I don't love it. The Mets caught a break not having to pay Cespedes the full amount of money when he got hurt. I completely agree. Absolutely. Can you talk about Kike Hernandez, please? All right. Well, to expand a little bit further on Kike, I really like Kike. I made a video earlier on him, guys. So if you haven't checked out the Kike Hernandez video and you're interested, make sure you do. But Hernandez is the jack of all trades. This guy is Jeff McNeil, just with not as good of a bat. He doesn't get on base as much, but he's just as good, if not better, defensively. This is a guy that can literally play all defensive positions for you outside of first, pitching, and catcher. This guy can literally play second, third, short, left, center, right field. He's young. He's only 29 years of age. He's looking for a better opportunity. I really like Kike Hernandez. I think he's the exact type of player that the Mets should bring in to help them bring this winning mentality. A guy that just came off a World Series championship and can really help gel things well to bring great depth to this team. That is definitely needed. Do you think we should trade for Arenado? Yes, I do, Colby. I would love Arenado. I know Stroman does mess up hitters' timing. He's like, he'll stutter step. He'll like delay himself. It's not a balk or anything. It's really cool what he does. When you think you will hit 3K subs? I don't know, Hayden. I don't know. It would be awesome if I could hit it by Monday. That's my personal goal. My goal is to try to hit it by Monday. But again, I'm not trying to be selfish or anything. It's just a personal goal of mine. So if I can get there, that'd be great. If not, I'm confident I will get there sooner than later. Whenever that's going to happen, it'll be awesome. I might do a separate video just saying thank you to everyone again, because this channel has a lot of great things ahead. Really great things, honestly, and I'm beyond ecstatic about. Mets have decent pitching, but no offense at all. Jonathan, you lost me there. You lost me there, buddy. I don't mean to be rude, but you have not been following the Mets clearly. Do you think Jays good chances make the playoffs this year? Absolutely, Bernard. Absolutely. Jays are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Who do you think they'll get next, if anybody? Honestly, you would hope it's Brad Hand. You would really hope it's Brad Hand. I'm going to stick with Brad Hand just because of, there's been so much connection there already. It's like, all right, can we just try to get something done now? Well, we need at least one left-handed pitcher for the rotation to shake things up. So how would you want the rotation to be if we sign Bauer and Syndergaard long-term on top of all the other pitchers we have? Well, personally, I'm trying to think of how I would want things there. Sorry, my finger was just like cramping up for whatever reason. I like Lucchesi. I think Lucchesi is a guy that has that possibility to be your fourth or fifth starter in the rotation for the Mets. He might be better as a bullpen guy eventually, but I think Lucchesi is a guy that I hope the Mets give some opportunities to and roll with it and go from there. He has some nasties. He has a ridiculous his windup is beyond belief. Like, it's crazy. And his churve, his curveball / changeup is just like crazy. I think Lucchesi could bring something to the Mets. Okay. Jays are winning it all? Not anytime soon, Jay. Do you think we should trade for Arenado? I answer that, right? Okay. Watch the Angels get him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Was listening to John Marusi on WFAN, and he said Bauer and Mickey Callaway didn't agree. Oh, so we actually have some confirmation beyond that now. That's enticing right there. If that's the case, I'm all for that. I really am. I honestly hope that's the case. Gio, what is up, buddy? Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate that. Do you think we will hire a new GM this year or wait? Personally, I think we will wait. Who should the Mets trade? Well, it depends on what you're trading for, but just for the sake of trading, Steven Matz and Familia to free up salary, and just because there's no room for them would be ideal. That's what I did a video on them a couple days ago. Oh, thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate that, buddy. I don't even like the Mets, but this guy channel is... Oh, well, thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you being here, my man. This is very kind of you. I deserve a bill... Like, what was that? I can't read numbers. I deserve a lot of subs. Well, thank you, Mets fan Michael. That means a lot, buddy. You guys are too kind. Love you all, truly. Okay, just saw that the Reds are trying to get Xander from the Red Sox in a deal that would include Gray and Suarez. Nah, Atlas the Ghost. No way. Can you please let me know where you got that source from? Please let me know. That would tick me off. That would really make me mad. What's your opinion on the video of Stroman pitching for Arenado? I love it. I think that it only makes good things happen. It only increases our optimism. Who is that Marlins pitcher back in the day who had a weird under submarine windup? I know who you're talking about too. I'm blanking on the name, but I remember that windup because of just how iconic it was. Why can't I think of it though? Blue Jays fan, just so you know, I'm not gonna delete it. I'll just give you a warning. Just don't self-promote here in the chat, guys. That's just all. It's just a respect thing. But who would pick A or B? I want to know. I want to know who they are, Andrew. Please let me know, and then I'll give you the pick. You gotta let me know who they are, though. I want to know if I was right. Oh no! Wait, I was yes on A, so it was Nemo for A, but it wasn't Kike on B. Okay. Okay. Now I'm curious. Tell me who B option was. And guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe on it. Really mean a lot. Help us get to 250 likes. We're still going to be going on for easily another hour and a half. So we got a lot more things to talk about. Don't worry. A lot more questions to answer. What's up, Philip? Plus a connection there with Edwin Diaz, Seth Lugo, etc. Knowing he's Puerto Rican. Who are we talking about again? Pardon me, I lost track there. I'm hoping we get Bauer, JBJ, and extend Conforto and Lindor. That's a good thing to hope for. JBJ, I don't know how likely that is because of him being a lefty, but it's not out of the realm possibility, definitely. Why are the Mets front runners for Bauer? That's just what a lot of sources are saying right now. And Bauer would fit the rotation tremendously for the Mets. He would bring so much to them. Who's your favorite team outside of the Mets? The White Sox, Jay. The White Sox. I picked the White Sox when they started this rebuild the past couple of years, like when they traded for guys like Giolito, because I really liked Giolito when he was at the Nationals. I was so happy they got out of the division. And when they got Yomankata too, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm picking the White Sox. One, I love their jerseys. I'm a traditionalist. There's nothing better than just simply black and white for stuff, in my opinion. I know that isn't very creative, but you know, White Sox are my team, South Side, in regards to you know, out of the NL. So yeah. Okay, let's see more questions to answer. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't think they should get Bauer DeGrom money either. I completely agree. You think they might get another big bat trade for Brian Arenado? I hope so. I hope so, Noel. I really hope so. That's what I can tell you. And Sandy, we trust. I agree, Vin. Sandy's doing a great job. And it baffles me that some people are overlooking that. How do Mets fit Arenado on payroll with Conforto and Thor due to extension? Great question, Andre. I think that's mainly because they aren't under the same type of limitations that a lot of other teams are. We have to take into account that while they're not acting like drunken sailors, they have the money. The Mets have money. There's belief that they could even push upwards of $300 million without an issue. And if that comes to fruition, I will be ecstatic knowing that. And it could really take them ahead of like everyone, really. Do you think Tom Brady would have been successful if he stayed with the Expos and played? Tom Brady? Wait, was Tom Brady drafted by the Expos? What? I didn't know Tom Brady was a dual sport athlete. What's my thoughts on the Blue Jays young core? It's great. I really like the Blue Jays young core. They're a fun, young, entertaining team. They really are. Bo Bichette is beast. Vladdy lost a lot of weight this offseason from what didn't Vladdy like lose almost 50 pounds? He's looking smooth. You know, between Gurriel Jr. looking solid there. They got a lot of great young pieces that their rotation's getting better. They have still great prospects. Their number one prospect is a beast. A lot of good things to like about what the Jays are doing. How do you feel about our bench? It's solid, but I definitely don't love it. I want to see the Mets add more depth. Nimmo and B is JBJ. Okay, all right. That is the career statistics. All right, between those two personally, oh, that's tough. That is tough. I mean, as an actual player, it's hard to go against JBJ because he is the better glove there, no doubt. But like personally, with some bias involved, I have to go with Nimmo. I love Brandon Nimmo. I absolutely love freaking Brandon Nimmo. I do not want to see him go anywhere. Doesn't mean that he won't get traded. No, he very well could get traded. But I love Nimmo. I would love to just see him in left field. If the Mets would have made playoffs in 2019, the Nationals might not have won the World Series. Absolutely, Tremont. Absolutely. Guarantee you that game. I don't even want to talk about that. But I guarantee that was really helping them with getting that run in. Gurriel is going to be a stud. I agree. What's my Twitter? My Twitter is Wardy NHL for anyone that's curious. It's the same thing as my hockey channel, Wardy NHL for National Hockey League. Oh, thank you so much, Willie, for the sub. I appreciate that, buddy. What do I think about our next move will be? I'm hoping it's Brad Hand. I'm really hoping it's Brad Hand. Am I into football? Yes, I am into football. Definitely. How do you feel about our bench? Oh, I answered that already. Are we still in the trade market? Yes, we're still in the trade market. Absolutely, Mike. Who do you want to trade for? I would love to see the Mets trade for Arenado. That would be amazing. I wouldn't be against them going for, Suarez and Gray from what the latest reports were indicating. My dream scenario for a trade, though, the guy that is not being reported currently connected to the Mets, but he was connected to the Mets a year ago, is Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton is my dream guy that the Mets should trade for at center field. He would make so much sense in more ways than none. If Jose Fernandez was alive, which team would have tried to trade for him? The Marlins were in sell mode. Rip Fernandez. Matt, yes, Rip Fernandez indeed. But my answer to that is Jose Fernandez's death was a heavy factor into the Marlins rebuild mode. I have a feeling that the Marlins would have kept that core group together had Fernandez had not passed away, because everything dismantled after the fact. They were not in full resell mode yet prior to Fernandez passing away. So I honestly think Fernandez is the reason why that, everything blew up to an extent. I do. Because he was dominant. Jose Fernandez was easily becoming one of the best young pitchers in all of baseball. I remember his matchups against a young Noah Syndergaard. It's heartbreaking. It's such a terrible situation to think about. Oh, no, you didn't respect me, Blue Jays fan. Don't worry. I was just giving you a warning. 2019 was the luckiest team. Oh, I know. Would you rather a Bauer long-term or extend Syndergaard? Why not both, Jack? But honestly, that's tough. I would say extend Syndergaard still, because I love Thor. Sign Bauer, trade for Byron Buxton. Unrealistic, but would put the cap on my dream offseason. Yes, Max, preach. You and I both. I'm glad that you guys are on the train for the Byron Buxton movement. Again, this is something I want to speak out into existence. I'm going to do a video on it soon, because it just makes so much sense, man. Granted, you have to give up a haul for this guy, but it would be worth it. Do you think the Mets have more money to spend than the Yankees? Oh, absolutely, Jonathan. Absolutely. I'm under the complete belief that they do. When you have an owner that's worth 3 times more than the next closest owner in all the MLB that isn't the Yankees, that's impressive. Tom Brady was drafted by the Expos, and he was a lefty cat. That's crazy, Dale. I never even knew that. Are you joking? That's insane. I can never see Brady as a catcher. He's so unathletic. Honestly, Brady's one of the best, if not the best quarterback of all time, but he's not I don't know. Brady's just he does what he does. He's really intelligent, but I can never see him being a catcher. That's insane. I don't like Buxton's injury history either, Andre, but he's getting out of it, and he's still so young. The potential for him to be one of the best is definitely there. You think the Twins would even be interested in trading him? At the right price, Jack, I do. At the right price. But it wouldn't be cheap. Trade for Jose Ramirez. I'm not against that. I'm really not. Would you ever work for the Mets? I pray that I work for the Mets one day. Mag Productions. That's definitely in part as to why I have this channel right now, is to get me in the field of sports. I'll even give you another one. Okay. Player C, average 238, 289 on base, 430 slugging, 719 OPS, 991 center field. After you pick one, I'll tell you who C is. Okay. I don't know why. I keep thinking Kike Hernandez when I see the 238 average. And he had a low on base in 2019. I know that much. But it wasn't 289 low, though, was it? Andrew, I'm blanking, buddy. I'm assuming it's another outfield option. So going with the intent that's another outfield option. 238. Could it be Almora Jr.? Again, I could be wrong. I don't have the numbers in front of me. He was dominant. He still is dominant. You really believe that we really didn't need Springer? Is in position that he needs to find a very good right-hand center field, which doesn't exist. That's saying he needs to find out left field. So, granted, I don't think the Mets needed Springer, but he would have been a great fit. Let's put it that way. I think the Mets can do just fine without Springer. But yes, it does cause some other issues currently. I would have loved to see Springer as a Met, but that's behind us now. It's in the past. There's nothing I can say or do about it. I was at the game after Fernandez passed. Oh wow, when it was against the Mets, right? Because Bartolo was pitching. I'm pretty sure D. Gordon hit a walk-off home run to get the not a walk-off, a first at-bat home run to start off the game. I remember that. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that you said that about D. Gordon. That's crazy, dude. That's insane that you were there, though, man. I can only imagine. Let's go Phillies. Matthew, that makes one of us. Call up Sandy Alderson and tell him to trade for Buxton. I would, Matt. I would. You think the Twins would be interested? Oh, I answered that already. You think Diaz finishes in majors or gets moved to minor? He finishes in majors. Diaz has nasty stuff. Let's not get it twisted. Diaz is a great pitcher. He is. He definitely had a rocky first season in New York. But again, relievers are very roller coaster. They're up and down. It's not all that surprising to me. And he was just completely misutilized. The Mets were incompetent back then, just two years ago. How do you feel after the Porter scandal? I'm not happy about it. I know it's probably not the best thing to keep talking about, but do you think the Mets did a good job handling it? I think they did a great job handling it. They responded as quick as they possibly could. It's just such a shitty situation. I've been praying the whole offseason that they don't trade Dom Smith. I completely agree, Willie. I still don't see Syndergaard a Met after the season. We would need to be desperate to keep him, in my opinion. I think that's a fairly... I don't think that opinion is as strong, honestly, Daniel. Mainly because Syndergaard, as long as he can get back to where he was, there's still a lot there. You know, it sucks because at this point in his career, it looks like he hit his peak pretty early. But how he bounces back from Tommy John is really going to dictate everything. What do you think about Brett Beatty as third base prospects? I really like Brett Beatty. I really do. If the Mets are able to possibly have Beatty as their long-term third baseman, then you do it. It just won't be next year. Do you work for MSG? I don't, Lawrence. That's another place I would love to work for. So throwing out my resume right now. My baseball and hockey channels are my resumes to hopefully work for them one day as an analyst. Would Cleveland want to trade another blockbuster? Good question, Tremont. Good question. Makes you wonder. You'd have to think that they would want to get rid of Ramirez because, you know, it's very similar situation to Lindor. Why keep him, right? Because he isn't going to stay with them. He's going to opt out. Would I trade for Chris Bryant? Yes, at the right price, for sure. If you could have dinner with one current Mets player, who would it be and what would you eat? If I could have dinner with one current Mets player, honestly, it would be Michael. It would be Conforto, just because he's my favorite player. And what would we eat? Italian food. Absolutely. We would go to like the finest Italian place in the city. No doubt. Be nice and romantic. I freaking love Michael Conforto. I can't say that enough. What's the news on Bauer as of now, Wardy? Well, I did a video on it, Charles, so make sure to check it out if you haven't already. But the news is that the Mets and the Angels are the supposed two front runners for Bauer right now. By any chance, are you studying sport management in college? I started my associates with sports management, but I changed it. I'm actually currently not in college. I took a semester off because I feel that I can get where I want to be through YouTube. I don't think that I need the exact college system to get where I want to be because I'm doing really well with learning and doing everything myself, which is a great feeling, honestly. It's a challenge, but I really like what the trend is going for me currently in my life. A dono too. Shout out to Larry. Thank you so much for the donation, my friend. I appreciate that. I like the little trees you use there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, buddy. Ernie, no, you're the man, my man. LGM, thank you so much for the kind words. And guys, smash that like and subscribe button. As always, if you're new to the channel, help us get to 250 likes. It really mean a lot, guys. The goal is to hopefully get to 300 likes by the end of the stream. We're over an hour left here on the stream, so we got plenty of time. So please smash those buttons. Help us try to get to 3,000 subscribers. That is our next goal. Here we go. More comments. You think Diaz finishes in majors? Or oh, I answered that already. I answered so many of these. Just pick one knowing A, B, and solely on stats. Would you rather have A, B, or C? Solely on stats? Solely on stats, you're probably picking... Solely on stats, I'm still probably picking A. You were 7 at the time, Eli. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You were just a kid. I know. Obviously, the issue with Buxton is his injuries. But if that man can stay healthy, watch out. Seriously. Absolutely watch out. Again, yeah, no, I don't work for MSG Network, but that's a place I would love to work for one day. Who's going to be the backup catcher for the Mets? As of right now, it's going to be Nito, unless they do a depth move. So we'll see. They won't make Thor the closer. That would be insane though. Thor as a closer would definitely be the equivalent to Chapman, just without the abuse, right? Do you think Porter's situation had effect on Springer? Slightly, at least I do. What do you think Thor's AAV will be after the season? Honestly, it all depends on how he performs, if at all, this upcoming season. That will be a huge decider in that. What do you use to generate tags for videos? I know this is not a Mets related question. Just curious because I see your channel growing crazy fast. What do I use to generate tags for videos? What do you mean by tags, my friend? Let me know what you mean by that, Verified Sniper. Matt Allen is going to be stud. He's very intriguing. Gotta bounce, get school and work tomorrow. No problem, Hayden. Happy to have you here, buddy. As always, let's go Mets. Continue great stuff on your channel. Do you think Syndergaard's performance this year will... is this actually just an answer to what I just said? Dictate how much he will sign? Yes, to an extent. Do I think Matthew Allen coming up in 2 years will decide if they keep Syndergaard or not? Not necessarily, no. I think when Allen's ready, he's ready. And the Mets will work with things when that opportunity... when that actually happens. It'll be a good problem to have. JD Nemo, and... I'm not even going to try to say his name. And Beatty for Ramirez, I would hell to the no, Luke. You can get Ramirez for less than that, personally. I know that he still has, 2 years left on his contract at least, right? But I don't think you have to give up Beatty in that deal. I don't think so. I understand why you do it, but I don't think you have to. Yeah, and then you say maybe without Beatty. Okay, there you go. Bauer could very well go to the Angels. You think the Mets would sign Bauer, though? Because they're almost at the cap for salary if we sign him. That's with the assumption that they're stopping things at the threshold. I don't think they are. So I think that's still a solid chance. I'm pretty late. Will I miss Scooter? We've just been talking about all the latest with the Mets and all their options currently. All the latest with Bauer. And, I think you would know the drift by now, Scooter, honestly. Just from what the title says, all these different guys. Oh, thank you, Charles. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for checking out the videos and for the kind words. It does mean a lot, my man. What do you trade for Arenado and risk not having the same Colorado effect he had? Absolutely, Daniel. Absolutely. I won't even hesitate. Nothing's better than watching your stream and having a PB&J sandwich. That's what I like to see, my man. Awesome. I need to get a sandwich. Freaking starving. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Thanks so much. I take my young players in Alonso, Smith, and Nimmo over Toronto's any day. To an extent, because you gotta understand that our young players are, really definitely either about to be or in the primes of their career. Toronto's just getting started. So, Toronto in their prime, it's gonna be interesting to see how good they are. Do you think that the Angels are land Trevor over the... I think it's a solid possibility. I do. We could go over the luxury tax to get Bauer and or Ozuna. You're not wrong, Scooter. You're not. Ozuna just wouldn't make sense from a defensive standpoint, at least. There's no way the Mets get Bauer. If they do, the Angels front office are just dumb. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, Bauer is the decider here. If Bauer doesn't go to the Angels, it might be just more so because of Bauer's preference than it is what the price is. How often do these live stream? Do I do them? I do them at least once a week normally. Just kind of depending on what's happening in my mood and if I have time. So I on average the past couple weeks I've been doing 2 live streams at least a week. Also, what is the greatest Mets and Rangers game you have been to in your life? Greatest Ranger game? I've been to a lot of really good Rangers games, but I would probably say the best Rangers game was coincidentally regarding the Mets because I was at the coldest Winter Classic just a couple years ago, right when the Rangers, right before they started their rebuild, in Citi Field against the Buffalo Sabres. That was an amazing experience. And favorite best Mets game I've been to? I've been to a lot of really good Mets games, honestly. Shoot. Best Mets game though? Best Mets game. There are a lot of really good ones. Honestly, just as of late, just from my memory, just thinking right now, best Mets game might just be when the Mets had their home opener, or at least their second game, in 2019 in Citi Field against the Nationals. I was there when J.D. Davis had 2 home runs, his first 2 home runs in Citi Field, and Pete Alonso had his first career home run in Citi Field. And the Mets came all the way back to win against the Nationals. That was an amazing experience. Player C is Buxton. Knowing career stats, is he still worth a trade? Oh, absolutely. He's absolutely worth a trade because Buxton has only gotten his feet wet in the MLB. He's a guy that is a late bloomer. People labeled him as a bust earlier in his career because of, actually his injuries and not being able to hit. But Buxton, I would take him with knowing the names because the stats only go so much into it. You didn't take into account Buxton's DRS. Buxton's DRS is ridiculous. It's like plus 100 something. That man is a game changer in defense, and he's actually starting to hit now that he's staying healthier. If you can get Buxton finally in a full healthy season, he's at the age of 27, right in the prime of his career, 2 years left on his contract. He will cost a haul, but he would be worth it. Trevor Bauer is going to the Cleveland Indians according... What? What are you saying? No, he's not going to... Bauer ain't going back to Cleveland. Sorry, guys. I'm just backing up on the comments. You hope the Reds keep Bauer? I'm sorry, Cody. It ain't happening. Do I think Thomas? He might come up this season. That's one rookie that might be able to come up. The Mets should bring Bobby Bonilla back. Yeah, right. Maybe he has incentive now because the Mets are actually fun. Let me know if you want Steve Cohn or Sandy Alderson emails. I have them to make suggestions to them. I mean, if that's actually true, I'll gladly take them, Lawrence. But I don't know. Why do you have their emails, my friend? That's my question. Why can't we have a little faith in Nimmo? I love Nimmo. I love Nimmo. He can improve. If he has a great offseason and improves his defense, by all means, all right, keep him in center. But the past 2 years have been telling that the guy is a below average defender, and that's the issue. What is your best baseball memorabilia? Honestly, it's not much. It really isn't. I don't have much of any baseball memorabilia currently. I'm looking to build that. But probably just from the few stuff I have, it's right here. It's Jacob deGrom bobblehead from him winning his first Cy Young from attending the Mets game. So that would probably be the best Mets memorabilia that I currently have. I literally only have a couple things, not much. Something I look to drastically change for the better over time. While we were talking about the Port situation, it brings back a question I've been asking. Do you think Beltran deserves another shot in baseball? If so, he absolutely deserves another shot in baseball. With the Mets, possibly, but I don't know. I feel like there's just... I don't know. I feel like that Beltran situation has already soured, and the fact that he was like the Wilpons pick, I don't think that's something that the current Mets regime wants to go down. So, no, I would be fairly surprised if Beltran wound up back with the Mets. Do you think David Wright will be a coach down the road? I do. I think that's very well a possibility. Or we're not even. I don't even know as much about a coach. I think David's higher than that. I could see David possibly being more in a managerial position. Kind of like how he was like an advisor for the Mets at one point. See them winning the NLDS, going to the World Series. I would love that. That would obviously make my year. You did the same, skip college and self-taught. Now I get to travel all over the planet, hooting for mags, ads, etc. That's awesome. That's awesome, buddy. Congrats to you. Yeah, and thank you. I appreciate that. Mets could really use the leadership of R.A. Dickey at the top of the rotation. Oh, all right. The man, the myth, the legend. The knuckleballer. Liberty Pizza. Couldn't agree with you more. Keep Nimmo and shift him to left field when PCA comes up. Yeah, again, I don't think PCA is going to come up for a couple years, so we'll see on that front. Do you think the Jays could get Bauer? I think they can. I don't think they will, however. What would the Mets have to give up for Arenado? I would assume it's going to be J.D. Davis, Brandon Nimmo, and out of top 10 prospect. A very similar deal to what the Mets coughed up for the Lindor and Carrasco trade. They would probably have to try parting ways with Cano's contract or Familia's, if possible. I remember the last series at Shea. My parents took me as a birthday present. That is awesome, Nexus. That is amazing. Did you check out calling a girl from the Dodgers, asking her why he should go there for 2 days ago? Yes, I did. I've seen like all Bauer's videos. How far is Pete Crow Armstrong from majors? I mean, just from my general knowledge, I would assume it's going to be at least 2 years. I would love it if it's sooner, though. Did you ever imagine Daniel Murphy, of all people, having 6 straight postseason? No, I did not. And what a run that was, and how idiotic of the Mets and the Wilpons had not given him the money he was definitely deserving of. Sucks that Traz a Philly man through and through. Would have made a great center field and blue. I mean, it doesn't matter that he's a Philly man. He's going to be an Angel for the rest of his life. So, you know, it doesn't matter that he's a Philly man. He's staying in LA. Looking at the 2021 schedule, the Mets have a easy schedule in April. Pull up the 2021 Mets schedule. All right, I will. I'll definitely do that in a minute then. What do the Mets need to get Mike Trout? Nothing, because they will not be able to get Mike Trout. When's my next live stream? I don't know yet, Philip. I don't know yet. It all kind of depends on stuff. It probably won't be until next week, though. How am I Blue Jays fan? If you think I'm crazy for favoring the Mets over the Jays in a certain aspect, come on. I think we're both being biased here. Nimmo is a good player. Exactly, Scooter. Exactly. I couldn't agree more, Scooter. I don't think JBJ is going. I don't necessarily know how sold I am on JBJ, but still. Just because he's a lefty. That's the biggest issue with JBJ. Bauer to the Yanks? Yeah, you wish. Bauer ain't going to the Yanks. No way, Jose. No Sonny Gray. He didn't do well with the Yankees, so why would he well with the man? I mean, I've already said this a lot in regards to Sonny Gray. He didn't do well with the Yankees because he was misutilized. They were making him use his slider more. He was not able to be accustomed. Like, granted, the atmosphere went into it a little bit, but, you know, that short porch and Yankee Field did not help him. He had a strictly different home and away splits. He was far better outside of Yankee Stadium than in there. And I think there was more than just the pressure. It was clear that he was misutilized. I think he would do fine in Queens. It's a different atmosphere in Queens than it is in the Bronx. A more welcoming one, I would say. Do you have another Jacob deGrom bobblehead? I missed out on it. And no, I did it. I don't, Lawrence. I apologize. It's funny you say that because I got that deGrom bobblehead from a friend as well. He was going. I was trying to go to the game. I wasn't able to, but I lucked out. He was able to grab 2 for me, or at least he got 2, and one of his family members didn't mind giving it to me. What would the Mets have to do? Give up Arenado? I think I answered that right. Okay, Wardy, your growth made me realize I want to start a podcast. It's in the works. Awesome, Luke. Go for it, buddy. Hell yeah, buddy. Can't go wrong there. I'll try to chime in then. I have Mets accessories. I have a picture of Mookie Wilson, as you should. Another thing of the Mets old black jerseys. Also a lot of hats. That's awesome, Scooter. Very jealous. I'm hoping to build that collection eventually. Once I'm actually able to. Would you include Pete Armstrong in a trade for Buxton? As much as I wouldn't want to, I would consider it. That's how high I am on Byron Buxton. And you might think I'm crazy, but I love Byron Buxton. Do you think Betances bounces back? Possibly, but I'm not banking on it. Let's put it that way. Do I have a Jesse? No, I do not. I only have two Mets bobbleheads. The other one is a Todd Frazier one. What for the WWE one? It's a joke. I have a David Wright signed ball. That's awesome. I love that. Are the Mets looking at Buxton? Not reportedly. And I'll expand on Buxton in a video. Don't you guys worry. I can tell you guys are interested. I like that. Buxton is a guy I'm just trying to speak into existence. So annoyed that the MLB hasn't announced a DH. You have no idea, Andre. You do not want to see a rant here. That's all I do is rant about the DH. I know. I completely agree. Nemo should win the nicest player award. I agree. And now the second nicest player, if not tied for first, Lindor is his teammate. Doesn't get much better. What's up, Waffle? Happy to have you here, buddy. Do you have another DeGrom? Oh, I answered that, right? How you feel about Hand? I really like Hand. I think Hand is a guy that would be great for the Mets. They need a lefty in that pen. He's huge. What's my real name? It's Tyler Ward. Tyler Ward. That's why Ward is just Ward is for Wardy. I just added Y at the end. You were giving up 3 players for 2. You crazy? Oh, you guys are having a conversation. Jacob deGrom, DeGoat is the man. Absolutely, Adam. Who else do you think the Mets will pick up this offseason? Multiple players, Rex. It's really hard to say who. I really think Brad Hanwell. I think the Mets, outside that, it's really hard to say because they're connected to so many different players. It's not nearly as clear-cut as, okay, they're definitely getting this, they're definitely getting that. My assumption is just as good as yours with all the players that the Mets have reportedly shown interest in. I just can't see the Mets making another big trade before the season starts. Fill our needs through free agency, and then we can make a move at the deadline. I know it might seem a little unrealistic, Mike, but at the same time, if the Mets want younger, controllable talent, the only way to do that is really through the trade avenue. What's up, Black Thunder? How's it going, buddy? Long time no see. Cueto is the GOAT. I mean, he was the GOAT. He has an awesome windup. I do it for fun all the time. The thing I'm most jealous of you is your Prince Alexi newspaper. I know. You gotta try to get it, Luke. You're missing out. How did you become a Mets and Rangers fan? Just my father, Daniel. Just my father. He grew up a Mets and Rangers fan, so did I. Daryl Strawberry. Oh, don't be saying stupid stuff like that. Come on, Strawberry's literally the nicest human being now too. Stop it. He's like a priest already, isn't he? A priest or a pastor. More stuff to answer. Don't you guys worry. I answered that already. This is the one place I can talk about being a Mets fan happily. So just thank you for that. Well, I'm really happy, Elliot, that you're able to do that, buddy. Happy to have you here as always. And guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get 3,000 subscribers. It really mean a lot. And we're almost at 250 likes. We're so close, guys. Help us get there. We're trying to get 300 likes by the end of the stream because we're ending this stream right around 12 o'clock. So help us, guys. It really mean a lot. You know Ricky Bones? That's awesome. Ricky Bones is the man. Jacob deGrom and I are Facebook friends, and we spoke on Facebook but lost contact with each other. Lawrence, my man. Lawrence, how do you have these connects, Lawrence? What are you doing? I love it, though, Lawrence. It's awesome. Would I rather have Hand or Bauer? Bauer easily. Sonny Gray, just because about what Bauer can do, more than Hand. As great as Hand is, the Mets can still try to address that. Versus Bauer, he's currently one of the better pitchers in all baseball. And, he would have more of an impact than Hand would. Sonny Gray should go to the Angels. I could see Sonny Gray going to the Angels if he doesn't go to the Mets, per se. I also have a right sign ball. I think I saw that right. Bill, why are you talking? Bill, why are you acting like Lenny Dykstra over here saying who want to fight me? You hate the DH? I love the DH, Rex. It brings so much versatility in the Mets lineup offensively. Mets have the coolest nicknames. Oh, I love their nicknames. Did you see Alonso's Instagram post? If it was from today, then no, I did not. Any word on the playoff format for 2021? Not to my knowledge, Jeremy. I would trade for Brian, put him in. I would trade for him too at the right price. What are the Mets' chances getting Lorenzo Cain? I would say they're possible, but it's a short-term option for Cain. That's the thing when it comes to Cain. I don't love the idea of Lorenzo Cain because of it being short-term. The guy, he's starting to deal with injuries now. He's 34. I know he's been so consistent with his bat and his glove, but I'm worried that if he comes to the Mets, it'll be a similar situation where you're getting a guy just to at the end of his prime, starting to get in the twilight of his career. Oh, Brandon, thank you so much for the dono. I appreciate that, man. Put some hype in the chat for Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. Dono hype right there. Thank you so much, buddy. I forgot Pilar was even a free agent. I know. Yeah, he's solid too. Do I like baseball or hockey more? I would honestly say it's pretty equal, Black Thunder, honestly. It really is. But I will say I do have a little bit of a softer spot for baseball because of just how long the season is. I love sports so much. So more sports, the better. So when you have a season that's double the length of hockey, that can give me the upper hand a little bit. But I do love them both tremendously. What's your thought on Cheat? I'm not against Kevin Pillar. I'm not as a short-term option. It wouldn't be bad. Sup, Worry? Oh, what's up, buddy? Happy to have you here. Thank you so much. You found me through Jim. That's awesome. I just did a video with Jim, actually. That'll be coming out on the weekend. So hint to anyone that's interested. It's going to be tougher to trade and sign players without a GM. I want to an extent, Scooter, but you gotta realize Sandy knows what he's doing. Zach Scott, they're gonna be fine. It's not like they don't know what they're doing. What do you think the Mets' chances? I think the Mets' chances of Theo Epstein are very high. I think they're very high. Buxton does nothing but fix the Mets' needs. Exactly. You're preaching to the choir, Scooter. You're preaching to the choir. Do you think the Mets are World Series bound if they continue the trend of how they're doing this offseason? Yes, because that'll mean they'll be doing more moves. Would I trade for Joey Gallo? No, but I do like Joey Gallo. He's fun. I like him. You have a Reyes black jersey? Oh, you have a David Wright cream, Piazza pinstripe. Oh, you got it all, Brandon. I'm jealous. Very jealous. You're a Mets, Knicks, Rangers, Jets fan. I'm the same exact thing. I'm just not a Jets fan for football. I mean, I don't dislike them, but I'm a Steelers fan for football. Nice, Steven. Nice. Yeah, they're going to be great games. They have a back-to-back in Pittsburgh Friday and Saturday. Should be fun. Hopefully they can get the dub. Oh, thank you so much, Brandon. God bless you too. I appreciate that. Do you think the Giants can get anyone like JT? I think it's possible, but they have to throw serious money at him though, and I'm not sure if the Giants are going to do that. The Giants are like a retool right now. They're in an interesting spot. You were at the game right after Ramos bobbled the ball to win it. Said hi to Ricky, DeGrom, Diaz, and Ramos. That's awesome. That's awesome. Who do you think the Mets will sign, Brendan? I think they have a really strong chance of signing Brad Hand first and foremost. And then after that, it's really a lot of up in the air situations until we get more clarity. Alonso wants to catch the last out and posted a picture of the glove that will. Oh yes, I did. I think I did see that, Matt. I didn't realize the meaning behind the glove right away. That's awesome. He wants to catch the last out. Where's he gonna be? Like, is he gonna bolt in the outfield possibly? Like, I don't know. That'd be awesome though. Knicks fan, yeah. I don't follow basketball nearly as much though. Oh, Mets, Cliff Floyd and I share the same birthday. That's awesome. We can be twins. I met Cliff Floyd at the Met Clubhouse store in Long Island. That's awesome. Cliff Floyd's a man. Good guy. How about we just sign tons of former players in the free agent? What could go wrong? I mean, exactly, Scooter. What could go wrong? Nothing. Giants or Jets fan? Promise it's my last non-baseball question. Try Steelers. I said that already. But I like the Giants and the Jets though. Whenever they're playing, as long as they don't play the Steelers, I'm rooting for them. Come on, Uncle Steve. He signed Bauer. He may very well, Sal. We'll see. I know Keith is against the DH. Not sure about Gary and Ron. Of course, Keith's against the DH. It makes sense when you have more of these, veterans. Like, not even I don't mean this in an offensive way, but old heads to the extent. Guys that are definitely, up there in age now that didn't experience what the MLB is like today. And especially for Keith, it makes a lot of sense to me. I just don't think he realizes how much it does benefit the Mets. Which team is the biggest threat in the NL East? If Atlanta wasn't in the division, well, then it's definitely the Nationals. Do the Mets really need Bauer? You seem set with pitching. No. The Mets, let me put it this way. The Mets don't need Bauer, but if the Mets get Bauer, it makes them easily not Stanley Cup. It definitely makes them World Series contenders. So that is the difference. You should tweet at Steve Cohen because he replies to Mets fans. I know I've tweeted at him in the past to no avail, but I'm playing again soon to see if I can get lucky. I was a Steve Cohen follower on Twitter in his first 1,000 followers, and I take a lot of pride in that before he was made official. Is Javi Baez overrated? Yes, he is. I really like Javi Baez. He's really entertaining, but that man struggles to get on base. Why not Colin Wong? Colin Wong's not a bad option. He's solid defensively. He's not a bad option, but he wouldn't be a first pick for me. Stupid question. What type of apple is the home run apple? Oh, you guys cracked me up. I'm curious. I don't know. Who do I think the Jays will sign? I don't know. The Jays just made some big signings, so I don't know. I really don't know. You think we should go? I would want Simeon between the two probably. Cohen should make a Bartolo statue. I completely agree. Oh, thank you so much, Brandon, again for the kind words. Between the donation and the kind words, that means so much. Thank you so much, my friend. God bless you. Whose numbers should the Mets retire? Oh, we got the baseball hunt in here. What's up? 8 and 17. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I think I don't see JT as a first option to go to San Fran. Let's put it that way. What do you give Tebow a shot to play at City now? I think we should use black jerseys again. I think we will. I think that's inevitable. Brad Hand any day now? I hope so. I hope so. Especially with things being quiet, it's only fitting. Should the Mets sign? The Mets should sign Justin Wilson if they don't land Hand. He should be their B option, and I think he is. So thoughts on the Steelers signing Haskins? I don't know how to feel about it. It's a move that I'm really surprised because the Steelers aren't the type of team to do something like that, but they have their reasoning. They feel that they still believe it. It makes sense too. Haskins being an Ohio boy. If you look at Big Ben played in college in Ohio too for Miami, Ohio. So connection there, not far away. So there could be some grooming there to possibly be the next man up. I saw Pete Alonso live when he played at South Carolina in 20. That's awesome. When he got drafted by the Mets, I knew we had something special. That's awesome, Matt. You were in on the know before others were. Let's re-sign Matt Harvey. I'm not against Ollie Perez, but those other two I am. Ollie Perez is, age is not a factor with that man. He still pitches well. Scooter. Should answer that array. We're on the streets. The Jays are talking to Didi. Let them take Didi. That's fine. No issue with me. It's a Red Delicious. That makes a lot of sense. I think it is a Red Delicious. Now that you say that. You got to go. No problem, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Realmuto will probably end up back with Phillies. I think he will unless the team really gets aggressive on him. When it's all said and done, who do you think will be better, DeGrom or Seaver? Oh, my God. That's tough. I mean, Seaver's literally the franchise. That's a tough task, I got to say. I think in regards to consistency, DeGrom might best Seaver, but that won't be easy. Especially because how pitching is nowadays. That's tough. That's really tough. DeGrom is really becoming amazing, though. He already is. If we sign Ozuna, I can see Malik Smith being Nimmo's defense replacement late in games. That's true. Smith does have some strong defense. He just needs to work on that batting, as we know. Like Juan Lagares, for example, when Juan was in his prime. And guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe. It would mean a lot. We're trying to get to 300 likes by the end of the stream. We're almost at 250, and we got 40 minutes left here in the stream, so it would mean a lot, guys. Matt's and Familia trade would need to give up our top prospects, right? No, not necessarily, Gabriel. It all depends on what your trade, like, how are you, I wouldn't put them in a trade together. I would have them as part of something bigger separately, possibly. Philip, you're a god for doing a stream for like 2 hours. I try, Philip. I try. I'm happy to have you here. The Mets should retire Reyes and Wright's numbers first in the Cohen era. I agree. I do. Reyes might get a little flack because of, obviously, you know, everything that he did, which was very idiotic, as we know. But it wouldn't surprise me if they do that. Should be retired, and obviously David Wright. I agree, Sal. I think Keith Hernandez and Colin Juan would be good for our depth. Oh, Kike Hernandez. I agree. I would take Kike between the two, first and foremost, though. I'm glad you guys are bringing up David Wright Hall of Fame talk, because that's going to be centric to my video that I'll be having out on the weekend, so stay tuned. Big fan from Puerto Rico. Keep up the amazing content. Thank you so much, Flubber. I appreciate that, my man. Hope you're doing well in Puerto Rico, buddy. Happy to have you here. Yeah, exactly, Michael. I think it's a wait-and-see thing with Haskins. I'm not stressed about it, to say the least. You have a signed Matt Harvey jersey. It was cool when he was the Dark Knight, but now I know Matt Harvey was simply dominant for 3 years, and then it was like, you know, it is what it is. It was a short-lived peak, and his injuries, you know, they really ruined his career. Between his mentality and his, you know, it is what it is. How many home runs is Lindor going to get this year? I think Lindor is going to get 33. Would Didi improve the Jays? I mean, in regards to veteran leadership and just some depth, yeah, you can't go wrong there. Conforto resigns with the Mets? I think so. I think so. Outside Citi Field, have you ever watched Mets games places elsewhere on the road? Oh, yeah. I go to Mets games in Philly more often than not. I normally buy the entire series for the Mets whenever they're in Philly, because I'm not far away from Philly, and it's cheaper than Citi Field. So you will catch me probably more in Philly for Mets games than you will at Citi Field, just because of the length and the cost. Do I think DeGrom has a Hall of Fame chance? Absolutely. I would trade Mats for a bag of potato chips at this point. All I want is for Arenado, Bauer, and Buxton right now. I know it will never happen. Maybe, hopefully one of those three at least, right? What kind of contract will Lindor get with the Mets? Probably 10 years at least $300 million. At least. Probably more than $300 million. Sign Bauer and trade for Hader and Kane. I'm not a lover. I'm not on the Kane hype train as much as other people are. I have my concerns with him, but I see the upside there. I really hope that we can get JBJ. A lot of people like the idea of JBJ. I just don't love it because of having an all-lefty outfield, and Sandy Alderson made it clear he's not necessarily in love with that idea either, so... I was wearing a Mets hat going to the OR to get my tonsils out, and the head nurse stopped my surgery for a minute because Harvey was upstairs, and I met him and got out. That is insane, Eli. What are the odds? That is insane. Wow, that's crazy. Who do you think is the best player in the MLB? Mike Trout. Mike Trout. Fernando Tatis is getting up there. It's crazy. But Mike Trout. Mike Trout's the best. Mike Trout's literally the man. Hey, don't kid yourself. That Tarpley we got from the Marlins is a good left-handed pitcher. He is. But, you know, he should not be your best lefty in the pen. I think we can all agree on that. Didi over Bo? Hell no. Hell no. Didi on the bench, but you have Bo starting. Shouldn't the Jays focus on pitching? They are trying to focus on pitching. They are. No. JBJ is not like another Lagares. I respectfully disagree. JBJ has had a better bat, has always had a better bat than Lagares. He still has a strong OPS, especially against I believe against righties. I think he has a strong OPS overall. But yeah, no, I'm not. JBJ is he's light years better than Juan. Hello from Puerto Rico. What is up, Ricky? Happy to have you here. Diaz just had a bad first year. He did. I agree. I just got here. Sorry. What are you guys talking about? No problem, Vital. Happy to have you here, as always, guys. And as always, if you're new, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, guys. It really mean a lot. We're 50 away from 300. That's the goal by the end of the stream. And we have just around 40 minutes left. Do you think Blevins sticks on opening day roster? If the Mets add another lefty, no. DD back to ARZ and puts Ahmad out of a job. If he doesn't go to the Jays, that's possible. Did you find out how to make mods for people in the chat? So when people... Yes, I did. I did do that, Scooter. Yep. Why 33 home runs? Just a gut feeling, Steven. No reasoning behind it. I mean, when you look at Lindor, he's a guy that can average you at least 30. He can get you upwards of 40. But 33 is just a good gut feeling for me. McCann could be a Matt's whisperer, but I don't know how much the Mets are banking on that. You think Lindor gets signed by the Mets for 11 years, $320 million? Ooh, you think they're going to go 11? I don't know about that. That'd be crazy, though. Did I get the Lindor jersey yet? To answer your question, Kyle. I hope that answered your question. Do you think we get Bauer seriously? I think the Mets have a strong chance to get Bauer, but they need to... It all depends on how much they're prioritizing him. I do think that they have a chance, however. I don't think that they're out on him. I definitely don't think that. How do you get to be a mod? That's how you get to be a mod. Do you think will happen if the Mets trade for... do I think they'll trade for Buxton? Probably not. But would I like them to? Yes. That is a dream. That's a hypothetical that I'll be proposing in video soon. Elijah, thank you for the hype. I appreciate that, guys. You guys are great. Bo starts every day. Dude needs to play. I know. He's a beast. He's such a beast. What do you think of signing Almora for center field? I like Almora for center fielder, but he can't be your starting center fielder. He's depth. He is depth. I know JBJ is clutch. I agree. JBJ is a great player. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the Mets are prioritizing a lefty outfield because Sandy Alderson literally said they want a righty out there. What are the odds that Turner comes back to the Mets? I'd say they're decent, but it's really more so if the Mets think that's a better route to go down short term versus a long term at third base. What do the Mets need to add to their roster to become champs? They need to solidify the bullpen. They need to get another big name in there. They really need to get an established center fielder, really get another guy around George Springer's caliber or close to. They need to run out the defense. They really do. And if they can bring in one more name possibly in that rotation, that'll make me very confident in them. Punch that like button. Yes, Vintage. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. But the Mets will win 94 games. What do you think? I think it's possible, but I think they still need to make moves this offseason before I give full-on predictions on them. Mets offseason moves. James McCann. Oh, yeah. Yep. And plenty more to come. These Lagares is old regime, so works highly against him. That's true. How much will teams pay for Bauer, you think? All depends on term. If it's short term, they could pay upwards of 35. I hope it doesn't get to that point. Would I trade for Luis Castillo in a heartbeat? Yes, Lagarde's injuries did hurt him more. You're not wrong. Oh, thank you so much, Steven. I appreciate that. Did I get a Carrasco jersey? No. Maybe eventually, though. Oh, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if I'll get a Springer jersey. I honestly would want other players from the Jays than Springer for obvious reasons. From the Jays, just from, just first thought, I would probably want a Bo jersey. Vladdy's great too, but Bo's the man. And thank you, James. Awesome jersey. I appreciate that. Let's see. What do you see? What Boston wants for Benintendi? I would, but Benintendi just doesn't fit the mold for what the Mets want. Benintendi is a corner outfielder that's a lefty. Not happening. I like Benintendi a lot, though. I do. I just don't see it happening. Since they lost out on Springer, who do you think they will target now? I think Brad Hand. I think they're still prioritizing Brad Hand. You got a Conforto jersey? Sadly, I do not. I definitely need to get one because he's my favorite player. Would Brad Hand be our closer? Brad Hand would definitely be the closer, I would imagine. Honestly, at this point, I just want to win. I don't really care who we get as long as it wins us games. So I agree, Sanchez. I do. Malix is better than Lagarde right now. He is. I think the Mets should seriously look at Whit Merrifield. Whit Merrifield's a solid option, Nick. I'm glad you brought him up. Again, he's another one of those where I have no clue if they're actually showing any interest in him. What do I think of JD Martinez? I would have loved Martinez a couple years ago, but JD's strictly DH. The Mets aren't going after him. Chris Sale, injury prone. Great stuff, but I don't see him leaving Boston. What center fielder do you think the Mets are getting versus you want? I think the Mets... Tough question. The biggest issue is the DH for me to answer that. So I can't fully tell you who I think the Mets are going to get for center fielder, but who I want is Byron Buxton. Ketel Marte is another strong option. I don't want Buxton solely on defense. Buxton's bat has really picked up now that he's getting healthier. That's another thing. It's between his age. It's between his defense, which is some of the best in all of baseball. It's between his speed. It would bring a great speed game to the Mets along with Lindor. Byron Buxton has Jose Reyes-esque speed. That's how fast that guy is. He would just bring so many elements, and he's just getting started finally with his actual batting game. Just imagine if that guy can stay healthy and be in his prime. He is a guy definitely worth taking a gamble on. Nimmo wasn't bad, I agree, but he wasn't good defensively. There's no denying that. I love Brandon Nimmo. He's the man, but put him in left. Can't have him in center. Get that black Conforto jersey, bro. I would love to. That would be the wave. I would have loved that one. Trey Turner is never going to be a Met. No way. That's the last thing the Nationals would do is trade away a core piece to the Mets of all teams. Do you think Ozuna is a good option for the Mets? I think Ozuna is a good option if they are able to address center field in regards to defense. JBJ does have a good arm as well. You're not wrong. Is Trevor May good? Oh yeah, Trevor May's beast. There's a lot. Trevor May's awesome. Since they lost out on Springer, answer that already. Do you think Cano Diaz trade will hurt us in the long run, or will it turn out to not matter that much? I don't think it's going to matter that much now that they have this new regime, and honestly. Yeah, I don't think that Citi Field effect is going to have detriment on. I'm not. Mention Miami, Nats, and Matt. You know, I'm I'm setting the bar decent for Lindor. If he gets past 33, great. You know, if he gets lower, it's fine. I'm just, the first number that popped in my head when I was asked Lindor home runs was 33, so I'm sticking with it. I like Buxton. I wanted him 2 years ago. Yeah, no, Buxton's great. What is Buxton's contract? He has 2 years left at a low AAV. Also, Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier would be solid, but you're looking for strictly defense at that point, and he is, you know, getting out of the prime of his career. He's he's borderline Gold Glover now. His last Gold Glove, I believe, was in 2019. You know, he's a multi-time Defensive Player of the Year, though. He does have a great glove. But he's also playing, you know, half those games in the Rays Stadium. So take that into account. And Scooter, thank you so much. I appreciate that, my man, as always. Thank you so much, buddy. Would I sign Puig? Probably not. But I'm not against Puig. I like Puig. He's fun. Prime Justin Turner or Darno? Justin Turner. Which team was better, the 69 Mets or 86 Mets? Personally, I've always loved the 86 Mets. They're both amazing teams, though, but I would take the 86 Mets. Do you think the Mets will go for another blockbuster trade? I do. I really do. And from what the recent reports would indicate, it very well could be that Reds type situation with, you know, not a Castillo, a Gray and a Suarez, for instance. My top 5 fave Mets ever are Keith, Hojo, Cliff, Wright, and Conforto. Nice, nice. Which free agent that would contribute offensively the most to the Mets would you like to see them sign? Which free agent that would contribute the most offensively? Offensively, I would say Marcell Ozuna, definitely. Ozuna's bat is nuts. I mean, 06 Mets were great, but we all know what happened in 06. I gotta go. I'm still going with 86. Don't get me wrong. 06 Mets were awesome, but they couldn't get the job done. Yeah, Laureano's not a bad option either. I just don't know if he's on the Mets radar. Yes, Sam, I am. I'm only live for like another 25 minutes, but I'm happy to have you here. And as always, I'm so happy to have all you guys here. Guys, we are just under 40 likes or so away from getting to 300 likes. Please help us get to 300 likes by the end of the stream, guys. It would really mean a lot. And we're really trying to shoot for 3,000 subscribers, hopefully by Monday. That's our next short-term goal. So please make sure to smash those buttons. Share this with your friends too if they are Mets fans, because again, if you're looking for consistent Mets content, look no further. Are Mets going to have tickets for fans? Yes, I believe so. Or the shortstop from Houston is not happy. Maybe we can trade for him. Correa? I mean, yeah, Correa. I don't know, though. Ever since the whole Chin scandal came out, though, I don't like Correa's attitude. He's a little you-know-what to me. Correa is a really good player, but I can live without the Mets trying to go after him. What's with the man crush on all these unavailable players? I don't know. Maybe it's because of the fact that they're unavailable, Gregory. But to be honest, the only man crush I actually have that's unavailable is Buxton. So there's that. It's not like it's a plethora of them. It's just Buxton. In your opinion, what blockbuster move do you think the Mets are going to make? In my opinion, what blockbuster move do I think the Mets are going to make? As long as blockbusters can still be free agency, I'm saying Trevor Bauer. I'll flip for you. Which New York Rangers team do you think was better, the 2013-2014 or 2014-2015 one? Oh, definitely the 2013-2014 or 2014-2015. I would definitely. I really want to say the 2014-2015 because they just came so close. If they just showed up in that game 7, I felt more confident about that team than I did with the Rangers Stanley Cup appearance one in 13-14. So probably 14-15, honestly. That team felt a lot more deeper and well-rounded to me than the year before. The only reason, in part, why the Rangers had such a deep run to the Cup in 2014 was because of Martin St. Louis' mother passing away, as upsetting as that is, because they were really riding off of emotion, and you felt that. Like, it was bigger than hockey at that point, and I think that really helped take them over the edge. When's the next collab? Is Saturday. Stay tuned. It's regarding the Hall of Fame, so it should be fun. What about Nolan Arenado? What do you mean, what about him? I would love him. You rather have Tatis, Soto, or Acuna? Oh my God, that's such a tough question. Oh my God. Why would you make me answer that? Oh. Honestly, as much as they are all great players, I would go with Soto, especially because he plays outfield. The Mets could use him right now. The Mets don't need Tatis right now because they have Lindor. If the Mets didn't have Lindor, then you're going Tatis. But if not, you go Soto. Acuna's a great player too, but I would go Soto just given how this Mets roster currently shakes out. And he's a freaking Met killer too, so bring him on. What team was better, 06 or 15? Oh, 06, definitely. With the current roster of the Mets a playoff team? Yes, James. Are they a World Series contender? Probably not. What would be the ranking of all the free agent center fielders out there? Of all center field, the center fielders aren't deep, but it's obviously Jackie Bradley at 1. Then at 2, I would probably say you're looking at someone like Kevin Pillar, possibly. Kike Hernandez falls in there just because he's a great utility guy. Albert Almora Jr. is not far off. It really kind of falls off a cliff rather quick in center field now that George Springer's out. If we sign Bauer, do you think we have a better rotation than San Diego? Oh yeah, we do. And don't get me wrong, the Padres are deep, but the Mets would be deeper at that point, no doubt. In your opinion, what a blockbuster? Oh, I think I answered that already. No problem, Eli. Have a great night, buddy. Let's go Mets. Francisco Alvarez looks like a stud. Yes, he does. I don't see him with the Mets this season. I think they would be rushing him there. My gut feeling is an Nolan Arenado in Mets. Oh, I would love that. I do. I know Soto is so good, it's ridiculous. And he looks like he's not even trying most of the time. He always has like a smirk on his face. Would I rather have Shane Bieber or Trevor Bauer? Shane Bieber. Ooh, a lot of comments. Pardon me, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Would you send Alex Colome if you don't get Justin Wilson or Brad Hand? Possibly. Yeah, I wouldn't be against Colome at that point. But I don't think the Mets are getting Colome. There has been no reported interest there either. I beg to differ. Playoff DeGrom and playoffs, so it'd be hard to be... I agree, but again, you still need a bullpen. You still need to round this roster. At the same time, though, if the Mets were able to get the World Series in 2015 with the roster that they had, they damn well can with this current roster, but the league is different now. The league is only getting better. Who is better, playoff Murphy versus 2007 David Wright, assuming Murphy would play like that for a full season? It's hard to go against playoff. Murph just took the Mets to another level. David is the GOAT, but like Murphy literally made history that year. Blockbuster for Chris Bryant. I like that. What free agent pitcher would you like on the Mets? Obviously Trevor Bauer. But outside of Trevor Bauer, there really isn't a whole lot there that entices me. I would probably say at that point it's Bauer or Porcello who's the second. I'm not Porcello. It's Trevor Bauer or Odorizzi, but Bauer first. Mets really going to pay a 30-year and pass up on George Springer? I don't think so. I don't think so, Michael. The only way I could see the Mets going 30 mil for Bauer is if they do a shorter term deal, because I think that they didn't pay up for Springer because they didn't want to give 150 over 6. Michael Lorenzen would be great. Lorenzen, ooh, Lorenzen's fun. Lorenzen is such like an interesting story. I like him. I don't think the Mets are going to consider Syndergaard as a closer, nor do I think Syndergaard would allow them to do that. Oh, thank you so much, Isaac. I appreciate that, buddy. Seriously. I really do. I'm happy to have you here as always. Happy to have all you guys here. Seriously. This is a lot of fun. You guys keep me chugging. Trust me. I normally would not be able to go as long as I am, but I enjoy talking baseball and the Mets so much. It's like, all I'm doing is just having conversations with you guys. That's the point. So I appreciate you all being here. And as always, guys, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. If you're new, help us get to 3,000 subscribers. And please help us get to 300 likes. It really mean a lot. We are so close. We're at 15 minutes left, and we need just around 15 likes, a like per minute. It can happen. I think it's going to happen. Let's get it. Let's get it, boys. Let's go. Next World Series in NY. Mets or Yankees? Mets. Yanks are all hype. And I know Yanks fans ain't going to be happy, but I don't care. I'm not trying to satisfy them. Bauer side, Mats would go to the bullpen if he's not traded. I think so, yeah. You think Arenado bat would translate? Yes, I do. I really do. I think it would translate. To be 100% honest, I wouldn't be disappointed if Bauer goes. I wouldn't be disappointed if Bauer goes to the Angels either. I would just obviously love to see him land with the Mets. Look, if Bauer can help Trout get there, then great, but Bauer is not going to single-handedly get them over that hump. They still need to make more moves. That's the issue with the Angels. It's not like it's a one-and-done fix. Similar to the Mets in that aspect. The Mets have more work to do. Where do you rank the NL as we stand right now? As we stand right now, I still have the Braves at first. I have the Mets right behind them, and I have Nationals third. I have Phillies fourth. And then fifth, I have the Marlins. And then, yeah. From your mouth to God's ears on Lindor hitting 33 home runs. That would be sweet. Yeah, I hope so. And look, that's the thing. Lindor can hit more than 33. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, Robin Ventura Grand Slam? Absolutely. What gets a deal done for I think you meant to say Marte? Nimmo, JD, probably top prospect. It would be a lot, I would assume. Mets trade idea. Mets received Daniel Murphy. You lost me at Daniel Murphy, Scooter, honestly. I like your idea with trading with Colorado, but you forgot the most important part, that being an Arenado. I don't recall saying Marlins fourth MLB Joey. Mets received Gary Sanchez as a short shot in the dark. Hell no. No. We got McCann. We don't need Sanchez. Last thing that we need to do is give up anything significant for him. After this year, Eichel the Rangers for who? Oh, that would be a dream. Let's not jump the gun on Eichel, though. We have Pierre-Luc Dubois to worry about first, right? Because he's available. Yanks are all hype, well said. They need to stay healthy. Until they stay healthy, they're not proving me anything. Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Kyle. I appreciate that, buddy. I'm happy that you've been stopping by. With a plethora of top pitching next year in 2020, which pitcher would like to sign? I mean, for next offseason, I don't know. I haven't even really looked at the sheet for next offseason. If you're talking about right now, I'd still go for Bauer. My man crush was Springer, but he left me for a bird. What can I say? He's clearly a bird enthusiast, right? You think Bauer will end up in Dodger blue? I really hope not. I love the Piazza jersey. Thanks so much. That's actually my dad, so shout out to my dad. Tag Team Geico commercial is awesome. Best one ever. Would I bring back Daniel Murphy? Never. No. The Mets should have kept him when they could, but not now. He's washed. Do you project Alvarez to be better than d'Arnaud when he was a prospect? I would say so, because d'Arnaud's thrived, but he's had a long way between injuries and working on analytics. The Rays helped him out a lot, obviously. The Braves helped him out too, but you know, Alvarez has a strong ceiling. Personally, think the Nationals are the worst team. I don't know. I think the Nats are pesky, and I think the Nats their experience is what can bring them over the top over teams like the Phillies. Marlins are pesky though too. If there's a team that could surprise people, it's obviously the Marlins. The Marlins are underrated. If Nolan opts out, he went to get as much per year in his next contract. If Nolan got traded to the Mets, he would not opt out. That's for sure. Pete in an Arenado trade, if we had to, I pray to God not. It's crazy because Pete could probably hit 70 bombs in cores, no doubt. But I can't see the Mets losing Pete. Dubois going to the Habs? I hope not. They're so deep as it is. Do you think that passing up on Real Muto now is a mistake? No, not at all. Oh, thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate that, my man. Everyone shout out to Sam for the dono. That was very kind of you, buddy. Thank you kindly. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. What's up, Hunter? How's it going, buddy? Marlins will get at least 80 wins. I like the optimism. Do you think Arenado actually gets traded anywhere? Yes, I do. Because the Rockies are trying to keep Trevor Story, not him. Conforto has a Conforto season. What do you think his contract is next year? Oh, I don't know. Easily over 100 million, though. That's for sure. Conforto's definitely deserving in the 200 mil range at that point. Are you in the East? Because it's getting late. I respect the... Oh, of course I'm in the East. Yeah, it's 10 minutes to midnight, my man. Happy to have you, though. I appreciate that. You think Bauer's going to the Angels? He very well can. Do you think Conforto 5 years from now will be better than Springer in 5 years? Yes. Yeah. Conforto's just such a consistent hitter. Don't get me wrong, Springer's too, but take into account Springer's, you know, what he was able to do. Team J, he was earlier, but I think he's gone. Everyone shut him down. I think that JD Davis could become a great third baseman. I do too. I think his defense needs to be worked on, as we know. Again, it's all up to the Mets and if they're willing to commit with that regarding him and his play at third. Keep him in there. 3 more likes to 300, guys. Come on. We got, what, 8 minutes left here in the video. Let's get 300, guys. Get Sonny Gray. I'm not against it, Joseph. I'm not. And thank you again, Sam. It means a lot. You think Pearson has a great season? I think he's going to have a really solid season, assuming that he's in the rotation. Well, without any more moves, are the Mets a playoff team? Yes, James. Do you think the old jingle, let's go... Do you have the old jingle, let's go Mets, WFAM? No, I don't. You see Lindor 34, Conforto 34, Alonso 43, McNeil 26, McCann 27. Sign me up, rookie. Oh, baby. Yeah, there we go. We passed 300 with still a couple minutes left. Thank you all so much for the likes. That means a lot, guys. And as always, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get a 3,000 subs by Monday. Just a short-term goal I have for myself. So if we can get there, that would truly be amazing. I'd be forever grateful for that. Would I take David Robertson? Probably not. Not with the injuries. You know, he didn't even play a game with the Phillies. I don't think there's much to do there. Knicks blowing out the Warriors. Oh, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Yes, we did get, we're at 310. Thank you all so much for the likes. I really, 311 now. Thank you guys. It does mean a lot. I know it means silly that likes mean a lot, but like in regards to algorithm and helping the channel, likes are actually important. And it obviously reaffirms me that what I'm doing is not a bad thing, right? So thank you again. It does mean a lot. I think we all forgot this one signing. Tommy, yes, I did. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder. I mean, not thank you, because the Dodgers getting better doesn't help. Trevor Bauer want Garrett Cole money? No, he ain't getting Garrett Cole money, and he knows that. He will like it. He feels he's better than Garrett Cole, and I respect that. But I don't think Mets is going to bounce back with the Mets at least, because they're in a clear direction where they're going to make this rotation as deep as they can. I don't think Mets is going to be number 3. If he is, it'll be with another team, a more analytically driven team, at least in years past. Maybe not so much now because the Mets are really good analytically now, but like a team like the Rays stands out to me where I think that they could try to turn him around. I've never actually been to a Cyclones game, unfortunately, because I don't live too far from Brooklyn. It's less than 2 hours, but like I would love to go to Cyclones games. I've just never been to one yet. Who has more trade value, Juan Soto or Mike Trout? As amazing as Juan Soto is, it's still Mike Trout. If you have to include one, don't make me say that between Dom and Pete. Don't make me do that option. It hurts my heart. Stop it. I can't do that. It hurts me. Oh no, 5 more minutes. Dun, 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 dun. 5 more minutes. It's all right. You guys, I hope you realize the only reason why I'm cutting you off at midnight is because I have 2 videos to make tonight. Like, there are good reasons as to why the stream will be ending in 5 minutes. What state do I live in? Pennsylvania. Cardinals. Arenado ain't going to the Cards. What can you get from Mats? Probably not much, honestly. Probably not much. How do you feel if the Mets don't sign an extension with Lindor? That's impossible. That's impossible. That's why I say it's inevitable that he extends. I can bet the house on that. Who's better at defense, Dom or Pete? Honestly, I mean, Dom's pretty good at first, but I like Pete's defense quite a bit. I think it's really gone better. Plus, I love Dom, but he's just like an awkward, like his body frame is just very awkward. Dom is pretty ideal at DH, but at the same time, so is Pete. Pete looks like the most stereotypical DH you'll ever see. Who do you do trade Syndergaard and Familia for Nolan Arenado? If it's just those two, it would crush me to see Thor go, but I would do that. I'm originally from Long Island. My dad's from Queens. He literally lived right down the road from Shea Stadium. That's why I'm not a Phillies fan. I will never be anything Philly related. Trust me. All right, guys. Again, this has been so much fun. I really appreciate you guys all being here, but we're just about at the 2-minute mark. So that is going to close up tonight's stream. Thank you all so much. Please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Again, if you're new to the channel, I know that I didn't get to answer everyone's questions. I apologize. I did the best of my abilities. Now is time to work on some more content before I hit the hay at like 3 in the morning tonight. But before you guys go, do not leave yet. Please just stay for a minute. I want to hear your farewells, and I'm going to put on something that for any of you guys that have been here before, you know exactly what I'm going to do. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So again, I hope you all have a great night wherever you are. If it's not night yet, then I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we're going to close this out the only way I know how. So just stay here for 1 second, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets! Oh, they're hollering and cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets! All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball club, the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting in the stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet